So uncivilized.
I don't think y'all realize where the hell y'all are right now. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be starting the show. I got to do that one more time.
So uncivilized.
If that ain't the hottest shit you ever heard in your life, I don't know what it is. Straight up. Look, look, welcome to Uncivilized Scoundrels. This is the first official show, proudly presented by the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page. Man, listen, that was flames. And you know what? Today has been an incredible day. We've got some incredible news. But before we jump into all that, we're going to introduce like the panel. I have an amazing panel of individuals tonight. We are ready to go in. Fellas, come on. Need I say more, man? You might as well say this is the official Star Wars day. This is anointed the official Star Wars day. Uncivilized Scoundrels is bringing something new, something fresh. Like me and my man Mario, my co-host Mario in the building. Like, yo, we are bringing something crazy to y'all, straight up. And listen, before I say anything else, the guy right below me, right here, his name is Jesse. This is Mario's brother. If y'all want to know who created this track, if y'all want to know, yo, listen. I don't think y'all understand. This guy right here below me is the one who created the track. I want y'all to give Jesse a huge shout out. Say what up. Congrats on this. Flames. This is Grammy Award winning concepts right here. Straight up. That beat is hot. I told you before we went live, that was one of the hottest things I've ever heard. It's the hottest track of 2021 to me, hands down. I could play that all day, every day. But I'm
I
so
heard you
glad.
have been, bro.
Oh my God, I've been playing it all day, like straight up. As soon as you, come on, man, listen, I love it, like straight up. Again, I'm so excited that he produced something like that for us for this show, especially for the first show. Come on, man, Jesse. What's up, bro? You in the building? Tell me what's going on with you, man. Tell me how
man.
how did you bring this together, bro?
Oh man, so Mario, my brother, tells me, "Hey man, I'm doing a Star Wars podcast," and one day he sends me a beat, and he was like, "What do you think about this intro?" I'm like, "It's pretty cool. It sounds it's like something you don't really recognize. You know it's from Star Wars, you just don't know what it's from." And then, I'm just like, "You mind if I take a crack at it?" He's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And so he sent me I told him to give me some ideas, like, what do you want? And so he sent me a couple of clips of like the asteroid field and some other clips, and he's like, "Yeah, mess around with this, see what you can do." And so I downloaded it, and as soon as I heard, dun, 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 I was like, all right. So and so I just put together a drum beat in Logic, and then I put it on there, kind of fiddled with it a little bit, chopped it up. And then I sent that little clip to you guys or to Mario, and he was like, "Okay, go with it." And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna build on that." And so, all right, as soon as he said that, like all these ideas just started flowing in my head. Like, okay,
Oh my God.
switch the drums up, like have it start up with like the Millennium Falcon's about to take off, and it's Uncivilized Scoundrel, so we got to have someone civilized in there.
Yes.
And like just I'm just going through sound effects online and just finding something that I can fit. And I was going at it for a couple of days, and I got to the point where I'm like, all right, this is it. There's nothing more to add. It sounds great. So I sent it to Mario, and he gave me the thumbs up, and like, perfect.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
it was awesome, man. And I'm still
Oh.
playing it, man. I mean, I don't. I'm not one to really toot my own horn and play my own stuff, but like this one, it's different because it's Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I can't. I love it. I'm really, really appreciative of all the feedback I'm getting back from it. I just
Yo.
saw that comment. Yeah, I'm getting such positive feedback. It feels good, man.
Yo, you are getting super pot. When we actually debuted this last night, it was like, yo, the floodgates open. My co-host for Say What, Brendan, he's about to cry, bro. Like he was seriously, like he was seriously like
Oh man.
he was flabbergasted, bro. I've never seen his eyes open that wide, bro. I was like, yo, you all right?
Yeah, yeah.
I hear.
Yo,
Yeah,
it was.
it's funny. Like my girl's not even really so much of a hip hop fan,
Mhm.
but I sent this to her. She was like, "Oh shit!" Like she loved it. Like, she thought it was dope too.
Bro, like,
She replied with like the flames and everything too. It was just awesome.
oh, bro, like, here's my girl. She's like, yeah, yo, where's she at? She heard it. She was over the moon. She was nodding her head. She gave it the stink face, bro. When something's that hot and you like,
Smell it,
like,
like-
yeah, like it just, bro, she's like, yo, like, so straight up, bro, like from
That's
one
awesome,
producer
man.
to the next, bro, you kill, like straight
you.
up, bro, you demolished this shit right here. So I am so
Wow.
happy. I am really, really honored, bro, to have you on here, man. And on top of that, you're a Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what made it
See?
even easier to make. So I'm
Easier-
just glad you guys like it, man. I'm happy
Oh
you
my
guys like
God! Straight up, like, come on, man. This is everything to me. Like I said, especially to have you on this show and to produce something like that is crazy, man. So thank you very
Yeah.
much.
This just
Yeah.
goes to show you,
Sure.
man. This show is really, truly a labor of love. I mean,
Yes.
between all of us
Oh, yeah.
here, this
Yes.
is like for us, for you, by us, or for you, everything, man. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
what we're gonna do, man, and this is gonna be for you guys as much as it is for us, man. So just
Exactly.
just stick around and enjoy it, man. It's gonna be a great, great show, man. I am definitely hyped for this.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have this going on today. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna go, first off, let me just address the chat and see who we got in here today. We got Jay Martinez, we got Philip the Fool, we got Max Geekdom in the building, my man Max, Aisha Sadiq, we got Lynch Design, Collecting Weekly, of
Aisha.
course. Is it
Yeah,
Aisha?
Aisha. Yeah,
Okay. in the
Aisha, what's
building.
up, Aisha?
Yes, in the building. We got, what is that? Bad Fish 5447 link in the building. We got Latoya, my baby. We got Quavo 383. We got Bob Dylan is in the building. Eddie Mendez. We got Philip the Fool, of course. Mario, I see you, bro. We got what is that? Bats in the Belfry. Let me see else. Who else we got in here? We got Friday Q DK. We got Gino R. Funky Cold Santa's in the building. Louise Lebitz. We got Frogman in the building. So we got quite a few. Single songwriter is in the building. How you doing? Man, like, listen, I want to jump in. I want to jump into something because this is hot off the press. But before we do that, we're gonna do a-
But hold on, before you do that, I think it's Louis Libitz, not Louise.
or Lewis. Okay,
Just
we'll
want- I
say
just want-
Lewis.
I just want to do right by him.
Hey, listen, Lewis, I'm sorry. I'll get it right the next time. Oh, two ferns, we got it here too. So yeah, I'll get it right the next time, but it happens. I'm not the only person that gets names wrong, so it is what it is. But I'll make it up to you. I promise you this show, we will make it up to you for real. But listen, we're gonna do a roundtable real quick. And just kind of introduce ourselves and when we fell in love with Star Wars. Like, what was it that basically brought us to this genre? What is it that brought us to this IP? How we got started? I'll go last, of course. I'm gonna actually start off first with the man himself. I mean, Jesse, I have to start with you first, bro, because I have to put you on the spot first, bro, since you were the beat. The beat. The beat. Blame it on Mario, bro. It's the beat. But anyway, like, start off with you, bro. Like, when did you, as far as Star Wars and the IP, when did you fall in love with Star Wars? Like, what brought you to this genre, bro?
Man, I blame that on Mario too. I mean, growing up as a kid, Mario's been the biggest Star Wars fan since I could remember being a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it as a kid, but I wasn't as huge as he was.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I got a little bit older and started watching it more, I started to appreciate it more.
Mm-hmm.
I think when the prequels came out, that kind of bumped it up a notch because, at the time a lot of people hated the prequels. It just made me want to watch the original trilogy even more.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just over time, man, we just saw the new stuff coming out over the years, and
Hmm.
it just grows on you, man. It just becomes, not to sound corny, but it kind of becomes like a part of life. It's a culture, dude.
It is. It
Yep,
is, bro.
yep,
It really
It
is.
It is.
Yeah, everyone has a Star Wars background or a Star Wars
Hmm.
T-shirt, stuff like that. Yeah, and I mean, even more so these days with Disney taking over it and putting out everything.
Yeah.
It's hard not to love Star Wars, dude. So I just love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Dean, my man, the Dream. What's up, bro? Dean the Dream. It's the dude with the nice hair, the gold tee that'll steal your ladies. What's
Yeah.
going on with you, Dean, bro? Like, what?
Not much, dude.
Dean the Dream. What's up, bro? Like, when did you actually? What brought you to Star Wars, bro? How did you get involved with it, man?
Man, I couldn't even tell you how or when or who bought the VHSs, but I had Star Wars, the original trilogy on VHS, and I used to watch A New Hope like every day.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie over. I think I wore out the tape, Like, I've just always had it.
Yeah.
Again, I couldn't tell you exactly who introduced me or what, because my dad is a Trekkie, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
So I know for sure. I don't think it was him that was like, "Hey, you like Star Wars." But man, yeah, it's just always something that has been in my life. Like I just adore it.
Yeah.
Zach down here in the chat saying I fell in love with the sequel trilogy. I did not. We'll talk about that a little later. I couldn't be further from the truth, but yeah, I just
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it literally has been so long that like I don't remember when I first started walking. I don't remember when I first started watching Star Wars. I've just always done it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man. Well, hey, I'm glad to have you on board, bro. I'm glad to have you here tonight, sharing your stories with us. So
Hell yeah.
we're all within this community. So, my man, my mellow Mario, I know you got some stories for me, man. I'm saving the best for last because Brendan. When he tells his stories, bro, like it's just, he puts his heart into it, and he gets really passionate about it. But Mario, when did you basically fall in love with Star Wars, bro?
You know what? Real quick before I get started, we also want to give a shout out to Manny, Boogie Manny. He's in the chat right now.
Yes, my man.
For
Where's
hooking
he
up
at?
for
Where's
hooking up
he at?
this logo.
Boogie Manny.
Boogie Manny.
Yes. So listen, everybody, Manny is the one who came up. Boogie Manny, my man, is the one who came up with the logo for the show. And on top of that, he you might as well say he partnered with Jesse and came up with the actual like he came up with the logo, the animation to the logo. He did that today, like straight up, like today.
This
and sent it
morning
to us.
was a big
This
surprise.
Yeah.
morning, it was a huge surprise. I'm there and there shit myself. Like I was like, yo, I'm sitting up there like everybody just snapped out just watching it. So shout out to Boogie Manny, everybody. Give Boogie Manny a really, really, really dope shout out, man, because like I said, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have the logo, you wouldn't have this intro. So
Man, that
Manny,
went together so well, man.
Oh, my
It
God.
looks great.
Mhm.
Yo,
That's peanut butter and jelly right there, man.
exactly,
Pretty
bro.
much, man.
Listen, I said, look, when Manny did it and he dropped it, I didn't even I couldn't text. My hands were shaking, so I had to call. I had to put a message in the chat. I couldn't because my hands were shaking. I was like, nah, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Let me just talk to him. Let me put my soul out. So yeah, man. Shout out to Boogie Manny. So glad to have you on board, man. And I love your work. I mean, you and Jesse came through in the clutch for the show, man. So shout out to you. Salute all day, every day. Mario, what's up, bro? Talk to us.
Man, okay, so I was born in 77, just after Star Wars debuted in the theaters. And I've been told that my parents took me as an infant to the theater. And like what Dean mentioned earlier, he couldn't remember when he fell in love with Star Wars. I mean, I can say the same thing. Star Wars was just, to me, it was always there. It's one of my earliest memories.
Yeah.
One of my earliest memories of the trilogy as a kid was heading out to the theater to go watch Return of the Jedi. And damn near the front row, and the speeder bike chase in the Forest Moon of Endor just
Ooh, yes.
is etched in my brain forever. Just sitting there with with my
Everything.
friends from across the street. Jesse might have been there too. We're just watching this thing, man, and just blown away that we're watching a Star Wars movie in the theater, man. It was so amazing. But
Yeah.
summertimes off in school, I had the VHS tapes along, just like I'm sure like most of us here. Had it playing a lot, fighting with my sisters about about turning the movie off, and I didn't, I just wanted to keep watching it and watching it, man. And later on, I mean, my love for the IP just kept growing and growing, and then later on, I got into the whole habit of collecting, and ever since then, it's just skyrocketed even more, man. So I mean, a lot of people that know me as like a big Star Wars fan, big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, same
I
here.
mean, and then when I'm chatting with some of you guys that know like way more than I do as far as the lore and the expanded universe, I'm like, dude, I'm like a peon compared to the rest of y'all. So,
Man.
but
The
yeah,
lore is-
it's amazing. It's truly amazing. I'm just it's one of the greatest things that's in my life for sure, and I'm extremely happy just to see my brother come alongside with it. We made
is to
man,
share it with your brother, bro. That's
exactly.
dope.
Even my sister before that was always arguing to turn it off. She fell in love with it too.
Yeah.
Later in life, she's a big Star Wars fan, along with her kids too. And it's awesome when the whole family can come together like that, man. I absolutely love it. Jesse and I, with a couple of friends, also started a tradition when the sequels drop.
Yeah.
So we're like, you know what, we got to do something big. Since we're fortunate enough to be out here in SoCal, we're like, let's go back to the roots where this whole thing started. We got to get tickets to the Chinese theater out in Hollywood for the premiere opening night.
Yeah.
And we've held that
Yeah.
tradition every single year throughout. I mean, granted, it was the sequels, but still, it was still special nonetheless. I mean,
Yeah,
just to be
yeah.
amongst all those Star Wars fans, the cosplayers, and everybody. There were a couple celebrities here and there, a couple of C-list celebrities here and there. The news outlets that was there. I mean, it was truly amazing to be a part of that amazing experience, man. And it was just awesome. So I love it forever.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Brendan,
Hey, speaking
man,
of
like,
which,
yo, what's up?
speaking of which, I still got these.
Yo,
Man, flip them over.
Yo.
Flip them
I
over,
still got
Jesse.
mine too.
Flip them over.
There we go.
yes,
Look it up.
yes. Yes,
Opening
yes.
night.
Opening night.
Opening night. Yes, yes. Come on,
Yeah,
man. You know
man.
what time it is. This is what we
Oh,
do.
oh, and I got the other one too. Got all three.
You got all of them,
Yeah,
right?
man. We got everything but Rogue
Yep.
One. We saw Rogue
Oh.
One at the El Capitan, and they didn't give us
Right
anything
across
there.
the street. But
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all took it back, bro. See, like I said, here to me it was an Eric Theater. Basically even like in Queens, bro. Like my pops actually took me. Actually, in 1977. I was born in '73, and like I said, I mean, for me, I got visually a chance to see it on the screen, and it just took me by storm.
Man.
Ran out the theater, but the rest was history. I came back in, faced my fears, and it was crazy. Brendan, what's up, bro? Like, when did you, besides your love for meat, when did you fall in love with Star Wars, bro?
Probably sometime shortly before I was born. Uh,
in the womb.
in the womb, it was just in my DNA when I came out. No, I mean, like Dean and Mario, Star Wars is literally always been a part of my life. I was just too young to be able to just too young. I wasn't able to go to see the OG trilogy in the theaters, and I was young enough where it's like you don't have that first memory because I'm watching Star Wars when I'm like 2 years old, so
Yeah.
it just with my old man or whatnot. So my cousins were like massive Star Wars fans, so like it was just and back in the 80s, you got to remember like you couldn't just like buy movies like you do today. Like buying a VHS, like they weren't cheap. Like they were fucking expensive. That was like the manufacturers and the movie studios had that deal with like those old chains back in the day, like Blockbuster and Major Video and West Coast Video and those kinds of things, to make the sale price of a VHS really high, so that they would just rent it from from those spots. So it wasn't like I had a collection of probably like 400 some odd Blu-rays before I started like switching to digital, just because I have 2 kids and I don't have room anymore for physical media. And now I've got a massive collection of like digital films. But back in the day, it was pretty much just like you had a select number of like movies that you own. Also, VHS tapes were big and they took up a lot of space too. So Star Wars was one of the ones that we owned. In that time, like the early and mid 80s and stuff. And so I always grew up with it. So I don't actually have the first memory of like the first time that, Vader, you find out in Empire that Vader is Luke's father. But it was just always so that, which does kind of suck. You don't get that memory of that aha moment, that holy shit, but at the same time, I just grew up with it. So it was always a part of my life. Like I remember, my family, like, we would do like movie nights in the house with like, the VCR and stuff. They'd put out like blankets and pillows on the, piled on the floor, and we'd all get popcorn and watch movies like Star Wars or Back to the Future and stuff like that. Back on, when TVs, you were lucky if you had like a 19-inch TV and it weighed 178 pounds and, it took up half the room because it was so damn big. So yeah, I just remember those like family movie nights with Star Wars. That was always a part of my life. But I've at least been able to experience those like firsts with my kids now, because my kids are both young, but they're really into Star Wars. My oldest is 9 and she's like obsessed. She's watched every episode of Clone Wars every season, at least probably like 3 times each. She's watched all the movies. Like she's, diehard into Star Wars. And I remember like the first time she learned who Vader was. And she just like, so at the time, I think she was like 6 years old, and she just turns back to me and she's like, "What the hell did he say?" I was like, that's my kid. That's my kid. I'm surprised she didn't say, "What the fuck did he say?" But so watching my kids experience Star Wars is really cool, because I'm getting to, because I was too young to actually remember my very first experience with some of those moments in Star Wars. I get to kind of at least live those through my kids now. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah,
definitely, man. Definitely. That's great, man. Like, I mean, that's what it is, like, for all of us. I mean, I'm getting a chance now to basically, bring my daughter up. My 22-year-old, she loves it. She's a Star Wars fan, like, straight up. Like, I mean, it took her a while. It took her long enough, but she's just already on the train. We have these conversations constantly. Like, literally, like, I remember taking her to go see Rogue One. And the final scene with Vader, she actually stood up and gave it an applause, bro. Right? She got everybody up, like, straight up. That's how hyped she was about it. So, like I said, I mean, it's Star Wars to us is like connective tissue. It brings us all together. You know what I mean? It kind of binds, penetrates. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is, bro. Like, it is. It's the new religion. For a lot of us who love this thing, it is new religion. But I can't shake it, because like right now, like literally today was a huge day. Like, it was a huge day, and I think it was the day that literally satisfied a whole bunch of rumors from things that we heard in the past and people who didn't believe it was possible and this was going to happen again.
Dude, I was blowing your phone up like crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting the Knights of the Old Republic remake. This is what we are getting. We are getting the Knights of the Old Republic. Finally, we are getting. It's
not a remaster. It's not like they're just kind of taking they're rebuilding it from the ground up.
They're rebuilding it from the ground up. We are finally getting this, man. Like, it was, the thing is, it was like, okay, I knew that we were getting, I knew that they were going to have Sony was going to have their thing today. I knew that. But I had no idea that this was going to have the stuff that they saw on the slate, but mainly this.
They
I
opened
had
with
no
this.
idea. They opened with this, bro. Like, literally, and it took the internet by storm, man. Anybody who's a KOTOR fan knows that this was unexpected. Like, I mean, Mario.
We thought it was coming, but it was unexpected that it happened today. because
Yeah.
nobody
It
thought
was-
that they were going to make it a timed exclusive for PlayStation.
Right, it was rumored for the longest time too. So we
Yeah.
heard so many speculations that this is finally going to come out. But I mean, to hear that it's just for the PS5 as a time exclusive, that kind of hurts a little bit because that's a bit of a hard console to get a hold of. But I mean, so I never played this game because I have a hard time with RPGs. I mean, guys, I can't stand RPGs. I understand that it's Star Wars, dude, but for me to like, for the next thing to happen, how I have to make a that I have to make a choice.
I'm with you,
and then
Mario.
watch,
I'm with you.
watch my character do one thing, and then wait for the enemy to do something else, and then I gotta go back and do something else. I'm like, I'm used to real time action. Just get up, do my thing, and and just do damage. So it's because it was that style of gameplay where I couldn't really get into it. I mean, that's not to take away anything from the story at all. Everything that I heard that came out of this game story-wise is absolutely amazing. I mean, I have on pre-order the Revan and Malik XM statues, and I don't know much about the characters themselves. I mean, but
Mario,
what
I think you'll
what
dig
know
this
of
game,
them,
You'll literally dig this game.
I want to get out there and give this a shot. I mean, now that they're updating it for more modern console or more modern platforms, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot when I can.
What
So
you
what kind
described
of-
is a turn-based RPG, though, not like the like standard RPG. That's a little bit different. So I think you'll be more on board with this because I like. I mean, some RPGs, but most of them I just don't. I don't vibe with. But KOTOR was, believe me, the story and the execution is so good. You'll get into it, and it's not a turn-based RPG.
Hold up, Brandon Dean. What do you got there, real quick, bro?
Let me see that, bro.
This is
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Nice.
Hold on. Let me bring you in, Dean.
Yeah.
Look at that, Revan and Malik, man. There they are, 3-7-5.
Bro.
These things cost me a small fortune back in the day.
I'm sure they still are.
I was gonna say, I imagine they're a little more expensive. This one, they announced they were gonna redo this one like a year and a half ago, and then they canceled it. So
They canceled it because the fans were upset that they're just basically repacking the same figure in TVC. And everybody wanted something newer. So they just canceled it.
But what does it matter
dude,
if you're not opening the package though? Like,
Revan
I
is
don't need
the
body
gun,
improvements
so-
on it.
you can pick up Malik pretty cheap, but this is the one that's gonna cost you. Usually around like 150, 120 on the low end. I don't know what it's going for now, but back in the day, I picked up both of them in the protective box. I mean, I should get something a little better than this, but yeah, I think I paid like 150 for the set. And most of it was Revan, but it's like one of those characters in one of those games you have to like. I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, dude, you have to at least something Revan in the collection, dude. He's just like, I mean, that game literally changed the way people made video games. Mass
it did.
Effect. If anybody knows anything about Mass Effect, that's why Mass Effect exists.
That's another one too.
BioWare made KOTOR, and it was so successful. They were like, well, hey, let's do our own thing, so we don't have to give Lucasfilm all our money or LucasArts. And so they made Mass Effect based on everything they learned from KOTOR. And this, I mean, this game really is one of the greatest of all time, storytelling wise, gameplay wise.
Yes.
I mean, it's super dated now, gameplay wise.
It's dated. It's dated, but still relevant. Like it is still
for sure.
so relevant, bro.
It's exactly why they're remaking it.
Yeah.
Right.
So what style RPG is it though? Is it kind of like an MMO or is it's not turn by turn, right? Like what would you
I
compare
think
it
No,
to?
it's not turn-based.
It's probably going to be a lot like the last Star Wars game, Fallen Order.
Oh man, I love.
It's probably going to play exactly like that.
I hope so.
Yeah, it could be something like that, or like Assassin's Creed, like Odyssey
Yes.
and Origins.
Yeah.
It's going to be more in that modern RPG style, not like turn-based.
Okay.
Like turn-based RPG is like, you know, that the one that they just announced, the Marvel Midnight Suns, right? That's more turn-based. That's kind of like you go and then you like make a selection and aim and it does something, and then the enemy responds, and then you go. It's like you go, then they go, you go. This is more like The Witcher, for example. It's more like you're going and like you make choices along the way, but then the gameplay has all different types of elements.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what exactly is happening because I didn't see BioWare's logo anywhere.
Nope, they're not involved.
They're not involved at all.
Which is kind of
Really?
weird because it's their game. And
They,
they're
they have some of the original developers. On board.
They hired some of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty common though. If you look at it now, like one of the for example, one of the studios that Sony recently bought, but they messed up and made the announcement when they weren't supposed to. So they're pretending that they haven't bought them just yet. Is Blue Point. And Blue Point basically specializes in taking old games and then like remaking or remastering them for new generations or ports to PC and stuff like that. There are like Souls games and stuff that have been been remade like that. So it's actually fairly common now for like studios that specialize in taking older games and revamping and remaking them. And then the original studios just aren't involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just shocked not to see their name anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like they kind of fucking made this whole fucking
Like a
thing.
nod to them, maybe at least. Hey,
exactly.
BioWare, this is their baby. They created this, and now we're taking it to the next level, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird, but Equan makes a good point that EA bought BioWare, so.
Oh, did they? I totally forgot about that.
But see, that's what because EA made a Fallen Order.
All right. Yeah.
So I'd be shocked if they didn't have anything to do with this game. Because EA don't they have exclusive rights to Star Wars games?
They did. That was also timed. I think Luke
that ended,
LucasArts or whoever the studio is. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm not a huge fucking fan of EA. I'll just put that out there.
Nobody really is. Like,
That Battlefront rollout
they're the
was
most
horrible.
hated publisher in the world that sells like billions of copies of games. It's weird, but yeah, nobody likes E EA.
Absolute Irwin in the chat said VGM anyone? Dude, if Hot Toys does not make a Revan, I will fucking riot into the streets.
Bro, I'm with you. I'm
And
with you.
if they make Revan, they've got to make Malik. You can't make one and not the other.
Oh,
Absolutely.
dude.
Bro, listen, no,
Pre-ordering
listen.
them both day one.
Listen. I've been campaigning for the longest time. I mean, yeah, you can give me Revan, you can give me Malik, but I want Bastila Shan. I really want. Yo, give me Bastila Shan, give me Johanna. You know what I mean? Give me HK-47. Like, give me all of them. I want everybody from this IP. If it's as popular now, the thing is. Now, here's the thing though, because they still haven't given us any characters from Fallen Order.
I think we're more likely to get KOTOR than Fallen Order from Hot Toys. They don't have to deal with actor likenesses.
Yeah, true. They don't. And I'm
they
hoping that
excel at the helmeted characters too, so that's going to be their bread and butter. It makes things way easier.
it makes it way easier, and they can actually develop them their own head sculpt for Bastila. You know what I mean?
Look how fucking cool he looks.
Yeah,
He's
right.
Fucking in the shadow, and he looks cool.
He looks cool as shit. Hey, Jesse, what you think about this, bro? What you think about the announcement? Man?
that shot right there just reminds me of Rogue One when Vader just showed up.
Exactly
Completely
right.
dark. The
Yep.
lightsaber goes up, and then he just starts tearing it up.
My favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
So I never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I always heard great things about it. Like back when it was out, I wasn't into RPGs, but I love RPGs now. So I'm really, if I had a PS5, I'd say I'm looking forward to playing it, but unfortunately I can't. But
You'll have one before this comes out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because they didn't, hasn't been a release date for it yet. But by the time they do, I guarantee you'll probably have one then. Like,
and honestly, I actually have bought in consoles before because of one game, like Halo. Made me buy an Xbox. You know what I mean? Like, so this is just maybe it.
The whole reason I bought a PS4 was for the Spider-Man game, and then they postponed it like a year. But, dude, the new Spider-Mans that are coming out.
Yeah. Oh man,
I'm a big Final Fantasy VII guy, so that's a Sony exclusive for me too. Like, I have no problem with this being on the PS5.
How many of you guys have PS5s?
I do.
Nothing. Nobody here, or not me. Not me.
I do. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the games to come out. I mean, I'm still content with my PS4 Pro, although I hardly ever play it anymore. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for more stuff to come out.
The spring
is intriguing.
Is when it's going nuts. The spring is when a ton of games are coming out. But even this, in the next week, Deathloop is another big game that's coming out. But this game, like KOTOR, this will probably be late 2023. So you got plenty of time to pick up a console.
I was going to say, I think readily available, you just walk into a GameStop and get a PS5.
Exactly.
Will be after Christmas 2022, maybe that summer.
I think it'll be before that, but it'll definitely be before the game comes out.
You know,
Oh,
by the time they become readily available, you might as well just wait for the PS4, PS5 Slim Pro Max. Super Ultra.
You're
Pretty
not
much,
wrong.
you know.
You're 100% correct.
Wait for
Pretty
the
much.
refresh, y'all.
Well, I know that they're basically supposed to be releasing like an all. Well, they were, and then they put that on hold. It was an all matte black version of the PS5, but then they actually put that on hold because for some specific reason that didn't drop. But yeah, man, like
You can get custom plates for it though.
Yeah,
like you can get custom plates for the if you care about it.
Yeah,
I saw
I
one that
don't.
was kind of cool, so I contemplated doing it for the one in my living room because I have one in the bedroom and one in the living room, and I was gonna do it on that one, but I was like, you know what, I just don't like having to unscrew and like take everything apart and then like put custom ones back on. So I was like, screw it.
Shout out to Will Foxification, man. Thank you so much, bro. You'll be on the next show. Trust me. You will be on the next one.
Sexy, pretty boy up in
Pretty
here.
boy up in the building. You know what I mean? Mr. Olive Garden himself. But yeah, man, like, listen, I mean, this announcement, like, I literally today I wasn't expecting. I was at the gym. You know, Brendan, you sent me the message, and then after that, Will sent me the video. And I was like, oh shit. Like, literally, they are doing it. Like, they are really, 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 really doing it.
And how sick is that Revan design?
Yo.
How
Oh, yeah.
amazing does that art look? Like,
Bro,
that's,
like,
I know that.
bro, like, straight up, like, it's, if you played the game, if you played the original KOTOR, you know, if you played the original game, I mean, fine. We saw Revan, but we didn't really get a chance to see Revan in this form, like this way. You know what I mean? And I hope, you know, just like the game when it told the backstory, I'm hoping they kind of like do something here, but just, you know, do like a more animated movie type version of that. I'm pretty sure they will. But man, like, yo, this dude, bro, listen, and then to have the statue in the game, come on, man, like, literally, like, it's like, is this Christmas today? Like, literally, like, we got a dope ass track, dope ass intro, and then they announced KOTOR today. It's like, yo,
Leo,
premonition. They just wanted us to know, bro.
This will be a day long remembered, bro.
It will, bro. It definitely will be, bro. It definitely
How many of you
will.
guys have the statues pre-ordered?
Oh, dude, 100. That was a day one.
Both of
Day
them?
That was
one.
a day one. Both of them, dude.
You got both?
Day
Dale,
one.
did you get both, or did you just get Revan?
See, I
Nah,
just
I
got Revan. I got Revan, but I want to get Malik, and I think I can still get my hands on Malik. I still can. I believe I can.
I didn't.
I felt like I
didn't
had
get
to
him.
get both of them just to get the better deal, along with the exclusive
Yeah.
plaque
Yeah.
that you're getting
Yeah.
too. So there was there's a
Hell
little bit of
yeah.
a discount, you know, if you picked them up both.
I didn't get them, but anybody who did and saw the news today has got to be feeling pretty hyped about
Oh,
that.
dude,
The
forget
fact that
about
they've
it,
got
man.
that
Hell
coming
yeah.
and the game.
Yep.
That's
So-
sweet.
So let
Yeah,
me
I
ask
can't
y'all a
wait.
question. With this release, okay, because we're saying it is slated. We'll give it or say like late 2023. You know what I mean? Like playing the original KOTOR, because I remember the original KOTOR was actually on the Xbox. It was only exclusive before Xbox at that time when they dropped it. So, you know, that game, I remember like playing the original version, and you had the manual, and like you would go back, like you tried your best not to look at the manual as much as you didn't want to, but then it's like certain things you couldn't get past, you just go back and look at it. Like, literally, like, do you think, all right, so people who have played, and Brendan, you've played it. Dean, have you played the game?
Oh yeah.
So do you
It
think
was on PC and Xbox, so I played it on PC. I played it on a
Simultaneously,
laptop.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was PC and Xbox.
Yeah, it wasn't
I actually,
exclusive.
I played. It was just mainly me. I had it on Xbox. It was just, you know, I needed to have that controller in hand. I remember calling. I took a whole week off, just like I'll do this time. I took a whole week off and just played all day, every day, bro. And the thing is, now. Do you think with this version, it was like as if it's a remake, then it has to be a remake, especially from the. What made the game so special is being able to basically play light side and dark and deciding your own fate.
Oh yeah.
Imagine how it's going to be on this platform. Like how much better it's going to be on this platform. And it's not taken away from that game, but just imagine how it's going to be, bro.
Dude, I could really only lean towards what Mass Effect did. Again,
Yeah.
pretty much the same storytelling gameplay was. So yeah, I mean, infinitely better, which is saying a lot. I mean, unless they do some like weird shit where it's like not really a remake, like again, Final Fantasy VII. They just came out with the remake. That's not a fucking remake.
Yeah.
It's a retelling of a story that's so wildly different that it's like, why did you even bother calling this a remake? It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So if they actually just remake the fucking game, which I hope that's the case, it'll be a home run. It'll be so fucking sweet. It's not even gonna be funny. It's gonna.
I
be
think it's
like,
gonna be like 75 to 80% the original story, and then another like 25% of like new stuff added or new spins. I don't think it's gonna be like beat for beat the exact story.
Yeah, I
but
think
it's
you're
gonna
right,
be pretty faithful.
Because they're gonna have to. Because this is good news for potentially canonizing Darth Revan, because he's still not technically canon. His name is because of the sequel trilogy. So if they can enter him into the canon and somehow connect those dots, I mean, this is what, thousands of years before the events of Star Wars.
Yes.
Lucasfilm and Disney said that the games are canon.
Okay,
like,
good.
Fallen Order, all of that, like anything, basically anything official that is produced with Sony, with Disney's like go ahead, is considered canon.
Okay, good. So that'll be nice. So I think you're right. I think that 70 to 80% will be original game, and then they're gonna have to change it a little bit to fit it into the canon. So I guess we'll see.
So you think we're going to get, so with the gameplay, we're talking about more hours, bro. If they're extending it, it's going to be more hours, especially if we have to go to backstory. It's going to be a ton. I just want the assault on Star Force, bro. I need, bro. I might call somebody crying. I'm gonna let you cry, bro.
I think we're gonna have. If you want to try and like max it and do everything that's available in the game, I think there's gonna be at least 30 hours of gameplay in this.
Okay, I was gonna say the original story was 30 hours.
Yeah. Nice.
So if it's not
right, but you also got to remember the original story. It took about 30 hours, but you're running on older systems that had load times and had all like it was a slog to get through just the processing of it. With next gen systems, like you gotta the computers, they're gonna move so much faster that you're going to be able to get the same amount of gameplay or more in a shorter time than you did back in the day.
So this list says the main story is around 30 hours. Main story plus extras like bonus like missions and stuff, 36 hours, almost 37. And then if you're a completionist and you do like a platinum, that's 50 hours. So I mean that's a lot of content, and you know,
that's a commitment.
If you play
that could be with the DLC too.
Yeah, if you play Fallen Order like that, it's also a pretty long game. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna like be playing close to the seat of their pants on sticking close to the way Fallen Order plays.
Yeah.
Because that game's also really brilliant.
Hell yeah.
Jesse, you finished Fallen Order, right? You played it twice?
Twice, man.
Hell yeah.
That's how nice it was. You had to play it twice.
Man,
it was
that surprise at the end. I was like, oh shit! You guys remember that feeling?
Bro, everybody was.
Yeah.
I remember
as soon as you hear it, you're like, no way, no.
Right. Yo, I remember like after playing the game and getting, because like the thing is, I wanted no spoilers, so I stayed off the net. I finished the game, but I remember like after playing it, and I'm shocked. I go on to YouTube and I start watching everybody else's reaction to it. Yeah. It was like they had like a compilation of motherfuckers, bro. Like everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like I couldn't believe it myself.
Yeah. What I loved about it, man.
Yeah.
What I really loved about that is that they really take you through the growth of Cal. Like when he's in his very first fight and he takes out his lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I remember that pose, and it's like, wow, this guy really is a noob, and he got his ass beat.
Yeah, right.
And then throughout the game, you just see him grow and grow and grow and get stronger, and like it's such a great story, man.
I love the flashbacks and how like each flashback lets you unlock another sequence of him, like he's learning and redeveloping and stuff. Like, bro, it was amazing. Like I'm hoping, and so rumors are, or not even a rumor, they are actually doing a part 2. for the game. It's just a matter of when it's going to be
Yeah.
released and when it's
I,
going to
I
happen.
was wondering about that because the way they ended it,
Yeah.
they can close it the way they ended it, but at the same time, it can just be so much more.
There's so much more. Like there's so much
Yeah.
more to it. So
There's
yeah,
a lot
like,
left on the table that they can completely go
Oh
through.
yeah. Oh yeah.
like it's if like I said, and I think that was even with that game, it was a push. Like they saw how well received that was. They know already how well received KOTOR was. It was just more of a push for them to say, you know what? Green light, let's just put it out because we know we're going to get them. And then on top of that, Disney was behind that. And, they was like, yeah, we got to get this out. Like literally, because like what was it? 2 years ago, they had done an interview, or they interviewed Kathleen Kennedy, and they asked her about Knights of the Old Republic. Remember, she was like, yeah, we're going to do one, but it's like, okay, we haven't seen it yet, or we haven't got an announcement for it. So I guess I'm wondering how it would be like if this game is well received. If after that they say, you know what, it was so well received, or if they did this as a test to say, you know what, we are going to do live action, but we want to see how this is received first. You know what I mean?
I don't think we're getting a movie.
We might get a show. We might get a Disney Plus show. You never know.
If they do the
days.
video game, I don't see them doing anything else because they want movies and TV shows to be like original, fresh. They don't want it to be retreading something that they did in a video game. Like they're very like Marvel and Disney and Lucas. They're very, very specific about like you're allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do this because we're doing this in the movies, they're doing this in the TV show. They're doing this. I just don't see them doing KOTOR. I think they're just going to go in different directions.
I disagree, though. I disagree because, like I said, the IP itself or the game itself was so huge, and the fan response from it has been the way it has been. I mean, I think that there is really a high possibility that they would, consider that the consideration is already, they already talked about it, but I think that it is something that they are willing to explore. And I mean, I just have, this inkling that if they're putting this game out, they just want to see how, because again, you had people that, upon original release, they enjoyed the game. There are some newbies now who've never played this game before. So they're just being introduced to it. So it's just like nostalgia for us, but it's new tread for individuals who've never played it before. So they're introducing a totally different audience. They're opening up that floodgate for those who are old. This will be talked about. I guarantee you it will be talked about. They're going to have a big press event for it. And I think after this, I mean, I never wanted, like someone said, never say never. Lynch Design said never say, I agree. I think that there's a possibility that they could do it. Like that, it might be able to work.
Well,
You
there's
also
always a
gotta remember-
possibility, but I think it's unlikely. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause-
if anything, I'm with Brendan to the point where canonize this game, the remake. Go ahead and canonize it. However, if you're gonna go ahead and do some sort of spin-off, do a spin-off. I mean, because there's so much more content that can be done in the Old Republic. Right. So why just limit it just to this? Why recycle the story over again in live action?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like if you say Old Republic though, because the Old Republic covers a vast amount of properties within itself. Like it's not it's self-contained, but it basically it covers so much. So what I mean is it may not be KOTOR, and I'm not saying it may not be KOTOR to a T.
Okay,
but it will be a story that's derived from it. Revan will have to be live action. Best Bachelor Shan will have to be live action. These characters, I think so. Revan? You don't think so?
Because here's the thing though, right? Revan's story is tied to KOTOR. Like that is his story. Okay?
But it's not just tied to KOTOR because they made mention of it though.
But if they're gonna do the game, if they're gonna do that, and they've already said that any games they do, any comic books, those are canon, right? You're not gonna then retell the exact same story in a film that you just told in the game.
But no, but
because
they're
you want
not.
people to have something new.
But they don't have to tell the same story. That's what I'm saying.
What if they change it the same way that they changed Kanan's story from the comics over to the Bad Batch? It's completely different the way that Order 66 went down. You know, with
but
Kanan
they'll
and his
do that
master.
between an animated show or something. But like, you think if they're gonna make a film that's like a blockbuster that's going to the theaters, that's going to a movie, they're not going to make his introduction into canon in a video game before they do a movie. I don't see for a character like that. I don't see them introducing him in a
I
game
kind of see that point.
and then bringing him into a movie after that because you've already done his
We
origin
already
in
know
the
this
game.
guy.
But see, the thing is, we know him, but there's so much space to tell that story, and they've already talked about him, whether it was in shows, whether it was in books. Like Revan is already out there, and he's on the minds of so many individuals, and they've already made remarks.
But not
There've
in
been
canon
hints.
yet.
Well, I mean, not in canon yet, but at the
If they
same
did it
time,
in
there's so
reverse-
much opportunity for them to actually bring this to the forefront because they know fans want it. There are a lot more fans of Revan, I mean, pretty much than there are any other characters in this IP. Like seriously, because Revan is
I agree.
Revan.
I agree.
But and this is why I'm saying it's an opportunity for them to take advantage of it while they can, and they know there's a lot about his story, fresh, that could be told. Like that can be told. It doesn't have to be the same story. It doesn't have to be in game form. They can change it. They can tell us certain things that we've never really heard before, or take us in certain places.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
I just think
yeah.
from a business standpoint, looking at it as like Disney and Lucasfilm trying to make business decisions, I think if they were going to do that, they would make the introduction in film and then expand in a game, not the other way around.
But see, the thing is, they did that in game already. So when they released him in game back, when the game was first introduced. Ever since then, who was talking about Revan before?
Not
then?
Disney though.
No
That's
one
not
was.
Disney.
No. I'm not talking about but see, Disney. Come on, man. Like, look, Disney. We're talking about Disney. Disney is a major player, and they want money, plain and simple. So they'll go where the money is, and if enough people basically talk about it, like, listen. Half of us didn't think when Mandalorian was actually created that we would see half the characters that we saw from OG. We didn't think that we were going to ever see them again, and they're bringing them all back. They're even talking about now with Boba Fett. They said it's overachieving now. They're talking about bringing characters, and we're going to see characters that we never thought we would see in live action. We're going to see them again. So this is what I'm saying. There is so many Disney they're not lunching, and I guarantee you, and I'm saying it right now, we will see Revan live action. I'm telling you, in some way, shape, or form, we will see Revan live. Maybe not everybody else, but we will possibly. I'm pretty sure we'll see Revan in live action. And even if it's not like a fully fleshed out film, there'll be some flashbacks, and you will see Revan. I'm guaranteeing you.
I could imagine that. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, they have so many different characters in different series. Like, look at Ahsoka. She's on how many shows?
Yeah.
So I could imagine them doing the same thing. He may not have his own show, his own movie, but there could, like you said, there could be like a flashback or something. He could be referenced here. Like, I'm pretty sure they can get creative and bring him in.
Yeah.
But I do agree with the point that where they wouldn't introduce a character. They wouldn't make a movie on a character that's based on a video game just because it's not fresh. To some people it may be, but to others, I don't know.
To us, we'd love it. But I
see
don't
both
think...
points. I see both sides. It makes sense. But yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I just think that there's plenty of opportunity to basically do it. Something that, would be fresh from the minds of individuals, especially, considering the simple fact that the character is well received. So I don't know. There's always a possibility.
They can make tons of money on the character, but also Disney, they're not searching the couch cushions for change, so they can still make a shit ton of money off of
I wouldn't say
this
that.
character.
I wouldn't
they
say
can still
that.
make a shit ton of money off this character in video games and comics and stuff like that, but they're very particular about how they approach and reveal things in live action and films. And like I said, if they revealed, and did his origin story in film or television and then did a video game, I could see it. But I just cannot see how Disney would make the decision to do that in reverse.
Hey, listen, if you can basically take an animated character and characters that we've seen from animated shows and bring them into live action, especially some of the characters that we are expecting, I treat those animated shows just as I treat those games. There's always a possibility to bring it in. And right now, Disney is trying to right their wrongs when it comes to the Star Wars IP. You can't. You started off with Mandalorian. Everything that they've actually done with the sequel trilogies, how much of a mistake that was. Like seriously, they are trying to right their wrong. So
I don't think that's accurate at all. I
think it's accurate. How is it not accurate though? Because the thing is, you got to figure, bro. Like they got so much of a backlash from all three. I'm talking about all three films. They got a backlash because of it.
And they
now
made
they are trying to right the
billions
ship.
of dollars on
It
those, though.
doesn't
But-
matter how much money you basically made, because okay,
Yes,
you
it
made
does.
millions. No, not really.
Yeah,
Solo,
but imagine how much
Solo?
more it could have made if the fans were united on this.
Exactly.
But
The
you're
fans
old
were
enough
not
to
united on
remember-
that IP. They weren't. They weren't united on the sequel trilogy.
Right, but you
Yeah,
guys
right
are
now,
old enough to
Mandalorian is
remember.
the saving grace. Right now, Mandalorian has
I
been
agree.
the
I
saving
love
grace,
Mandalorian.
and they've basically made up for a lot of mistakes that were made. They're not going to go backwards and say, you know what, we're going to fuck up again. I don't think that they're going to actually do that.
I wouldn't put it past them. But
Yeah,
just,
exactly. Because
just-
you guys are all old enough to remember. Sorry, Dean. You're all
No,
old
you're good.
enough to remember that OG Star Wars fans hated the prequels when those came out. Okay?
Yep.
And now they're beloved. Disney is not worried about OG fans hating the sequel trilogy right now because they just made billions of dollars. And you know what? The people who grew up with the prequel trilogy in like 10, 15 years, either they're going to start liking the sequel trilogy or their kids will. Disney is not worried about, they're not trying to correct any wrongs. The bottom line is they made billions of dollars. Disney's happy. They're only moving forward. They're not
Okay.
trying to correct wrongs.
one, they made billions of dollars, but they could have made trillions of dollars on the merch, which they didn't. None of us are buying that shit.
Right.
It's all peg warmers. They've lost
I
money
did.
on Star Wars by now. I mean, everyone has, but if you look at how much they paid for it, how much they've made, but how much they've put into the movies and merchandising, they've lost money. Star Wars has not really helped Disney at all. Second, if they weren't worried about the OG fans, they wouldn't be putting Boba Fett into everything.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be
Exactly.
putting Revan into everything. They're
Exactly.
trying to fucking
We want to see
suck
Luke
at our dicks,
Skywalker.
dude. They're,
Look,
dude,
that's what I'm saying.
The fact that they're like, Star Wars isn't for you anymore. Bullshit. I'm the one fucking paying for it. And and everything they do, every decision they've made to bring back these old characters, to reference old shit, it's because of me and Mario and Liao and you. It's all about us, dude.
They have, and that's what I'm saying.
Jesse.
They've made a mistake. Look, they recognize the mistakes that they made. Listen, point blank. You said Luke. They fucked up with Luke, and they know they did. They fucked up with Luke in these sequel trilogies. And when they did that,
Don't
they were
think
like,
they
okay,
did that.
well, okay, so if they didn't, why did they actually go back and tell a story? Now they're going back in The Mandalorian. They brought him in and introduced him, gave the fans what they want, and they saw the reaction. So I guarantee you this. We will see a Luke Skywalker show. I guarantee you that. You can say that I'm
That's
wrong
a
if you
bit of
want.
a
It's possible.
stretch,
I'm not
bro.
No,
saying you're wrong,
I'm not
but
saying it's
I'm
a
not
stretch.
saying it's
I
guaranteed.
guarantee you that you actually see it, that you will see, because listen, bro, it's too much space for it. What are you going to just basically introduce him into another IP and tell a short story of him and Grogu? No, you don't have enough space to tell that story. Like you
I'm
really,
not
really
saying
don't.
that's not going to happen. I'm saying that's a minefield because there's
You know
a
what?
million ways they could screw that up.
But they didn't screw it up when they did it right with Mandalorian, and people loved it, and they are still talking about it. So this is what I'm saying. Like that, I'm just giving you an example. What they did with him in the sequel trilogy, in my opinion, was a fuck up. It really, really was. They could now look. They had opportunity, and here's the thing. I didn't mind what they actually did with the Last Jedi. I didn't mind, but it's the simple fact that you didn't tell. We didn't get a solid backstory to really understand why he was that way. We really didn't get a solid backstory to tell us why he was there. So they fucked it up. They got a fan backlash over it, and then what did they do? Okay, all right, we'll approve. Yeah, Jon Favreau. Go ahead, Dave Filoni. Go ahead, bring Luke in. Like, we need to get that core. We need to get those fans back. You're not going to tell me that they didn't recognize the mistakes that they make, and it was all about money, because they want to
100%
make.
I'm going to tell you that.
But they wanted to make more money.
I don't disagree with what you're saying about
They
like
wanted-
story-wise and what they did and what you didn't like. I'm not disagreeing with that.
They want to make
I'm just
more
saying
money.
You're thinking that
They
Disney
want to
gives
make
more of a shit
more
about us
money.
than they do.
I'm not saying that they do give a shit, but at the same time, they have to if they want to make some fucking money. They want to make more money.
you can't
They
say-
really
I'm
do.
not saying they
And
do
right
give a
now,
shit, but they have
they
to
are
at the
tied
same
up in
time.
litigation over a fucked up thing that they did to Black Widow. You mean to tell me they ain't gonna try to make or play damage control to make more money? Because they about to get cashed out soon over some shit. So they're gonna want to make some more money, and on top of that, they want to appease fans with an IP that they actually have fucked up. They have, and they're trying to make amends for it. So I'm telling you, it's
think
in a
they
realm
are.
of possibility that we will see Revan, and it may not not be, like I said, a solo film, but in some way, shape, or form, we will see him live action because they've wanted it. They've already hinted it. There is opportunity to do so. It would be
I'm
stupid
not
for
saying
him
that
not
there
to.
is an opportunity. I'm saying I think you're looking at it only from a fan's perspective, and I think Disney is looking at it at a business perspective, and you have to take that into account. I love your passion. I agree with you on a lot of things, but I think that Disney's not looking at it through the same lens that you are, and ultimately Disney's lens is what makes the decisions.
If Disney's lens, if they weren't looking at it from the same lens, I'm telling you, we wouldn't have some of these OG characters reintroduced the way they have. They're
You would,
trying.
'cause
No, you
nostalgia
would.
sells.
No, not the way they've done it, bro. Not the way they've done. Listen, not the storytelling that we've seen Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau come up with. They have had space to do this. They have had opportunity because they know they can do it well. And Disney sat
Yeah, they
back
can.
and they saw some of the. Listen, you gonna tell me they didn't fuck up with Solo? They fucked that up. That was a fuck up. That was low ball for them. Like literally.
Nah, bro, dude, I enjoyed Solo, man.
No,
I
no,
like
no,
it. Freaking
no.
great to me.
I'm telling
I
you,
thought Solo
I
was good.
enjoyed it.
Solo.
I
What
enjoyed it,
happened
but they
with
didn't
Solo-
make fucking money because of all the shit that they
was
were
a consequence of what happened with
Exactly.
That's his point.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
the
I'm
point
saying.
he's making.
That's the point I'm
Yeah,
making.
yeah.
It was a fuck up because of all the controversy that they had already gone through with Last Jedi. You know what I mean? All the bullshit with the directors, and that shit was publicized. All of that was
because
public.
Yeah, instead of saying like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we fucked up. We're gonna try and make it better. They were like, oh yeah, well, you're just a fucking man baby. You're it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm the one paid for this.
That's what I'm saying. That's
It's
what
like,
I'm saying.
you're entitled. It's like, well, I mean,
It's-
am I entitled because I've been buying Star Wars merch for 35 years? Like, the whole
Yeah.
reason Disney even bought Star Wars as IP is because I still spend money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little fucking entitled. Like, do I think I should get my way 100% of the time? No. People make great stories all the time that I have nothing to do with. But it's like instead of saying, "Hey, we fucked up on the Last Jedi and you guys are right," they were like they doubled down and it's like, "Oh, you're a bigot, you're a racist." It's like, no, just give me a good story. I don't care if Rey is a girl and she got the Millennium Falcon. Just give me a good character and a good story.
I don't
That's all I
disagree
care
with
about.
99% of what you guys are saying. All I'm saying is that I think you think Disney is more sensitive to your position
Oh, I know they're
than
not.
they actually are.
I know they're not, but they recognize their fuck ups.
I think they are more
Those
so
are two.
today.
You're saying this different things, though.
Well,
They can't be sensitive to your position and recognize they fucked up at the same
No,
time. You
I
can't
said
do
I'm
both.
not. No. I said I don't think that they are sensitive, but they do recognize that they fucked up. They're fucking their money up. They recognize that. If you're not going, bro, I'm telling you. Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next.
No, I think
I love you. You know I love you. But
So
you're
what's up next, right? Is we have Obi-Wan. Now we've actually know that the Obi-Wan show is actually up and coming, right? So we've heard some hints, some rumors. There's been a lot of things. Now they said, now if I'm right or wrong, they did basically say that they've wrapped, like shooting has wrapped. Is that what I'm to understand? This is what they said. But didn't I think they said that they went back. Now I know that, you know, which any IP or any company, any film or show, there are reshoots if they want to go back and clean some stuff up. But we've heard a few things. Now, notably, one of the biggest things that we've heard is with Anakin, with Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on there, man. Let's get into this, guys.
Yeah, so what are we hearing that, okay, he's in the suit. Now we know he's actually but he's also going to be outside the suit as well, right?
Yeah, so there was a I guess some sort of concept art or what have you that leaked a little while ago showing Anakin in, I want to say, in the back to tank, the same way that Star Wars Theory portrayed his character in the back to tank, all hooked up with the hoses, with the mask and everything. So
yeah, shout out Star Wars Theory, by the way. That video fucking rocked.
Exactly.
Dude, we should get him on the show.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, that's going to be a thing.
I mean, I'm excited, but you have to remember, in A New Hope, when Vader finally sees Obi-Wan, he's like, I haven't seen you since, before I became Darth Vader, so...
No, he just says, I haven't seen you in a long time.
He says,
he
the
doesn't
last time
say-
we met, I was a learner. Now I am.
Now
the
I am
master.
as a master.
That's what he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now between we don't know when he was officially dubbed a master. So anything can happen. I mean,
And if
they
Obi-Wan
can,
tools on him in this show, then he's
he's
still the master.
they can. I think they can meet again to where he considers himself a learner, right? And then he messes him up again. And then in between that time, before they meet up again in A New Hope, maybe he dons a rank of master. This is just my brain. And
No, I know.
I mean, it's a
That makes
retcon.
perfect
It's an
sense.
absolute retcon.
I'm trying to think of the ways Disney can fuck it up, and that's why I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Don't give yourself a headache for that.
I see what you guys are saying. Like, that does make sense that they could like futz with the words, but it's also like, okay, but if you do that to a certain extent, you're gonna fuck it up. You just
Can we remember the context of the episode name is built on hope? All right, so let's be let's go on with
You
that.
invited the
Let's see what
wrong
happens.
dude, man. I told you. What did I tell you yesterday?
I know.
Dean, I'm right there with you. I know. It's when you try and be hopeful. I know it's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's admittedly it's a retcon. We know it is because there was never any intention when A New Hope was being filmed for them to go back and tell this story.
Oh,
so they're
for sure.
figuring out how to fit this story in, and so it's like, all right, well, yeah, we can write a situation where they met again after. He was burned and became Kentucky Fried Anakin, and we'll figure out how we're going to, because in this show now, if they meet and maybe Anakin, if they fight or whatever, and Anakin doesn't beat him, then he hasn't become the master yet. He's got to beat him to become the master. So, technically, you can still work it in there, but yeah, it's a retcon. I mean, literally everything we get in Star Wars from this point forward, and even since like the sequel, it's all retcons. It's because it was never intended, by George Lucas and stuff. So it's just one of those things you just have to wait and hope that they do it well.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I mean, George Lucas also fucked up his own story a bunch of times in the prequels, where it's like, well, I thought Yoda taught Obi-Wan. Who the fuck is Qui-Gon Jinn? Or how come? Yeah, there's just like a lot of like little things like that where it's like even George Lucas fucked it up a little bit. So like I'll give him some leeway. It's not like I'm like an unmovable rock,
I mean, he had brother and sister kiss. So
even his own trilogy he fucked up.
Right from the outset, he was making some mistakes. So you forgive and forget.
It's just kind of a testament to how much we love Star Wars and how important it is that we can get this passion by it. I think it's wonderful.
Hell yeah.
And that you're willing to forgive certain things, but not
Yeah,
others.
I mean, dude, okay.
I'm right there with you.
A point you made earlier, dude, is you were like, hey, the original fans hated the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I was one of them, dude. I used to fucking abhor the sequel. I used to love clones, but that was about it. But when they came out with Clone Wars and they added all that story and all that context,
the layers,
I was like, dude, the prequel trilogy kicks ass.
Even if you look at even just a year or so ago, when they put out the behind the scenes of the first season and of Mandalorian, and Dave Filoni is talking about, look, the Duel of the Fates is what everything hinges on in Star Wars, because if Qui-Gon loses, then Anakin doesn't have the father figure he needs, and he becomes Darth Vader. If Qui-Gon wins and beats Darth Maul, then he's got the father figure that he needs instead of the older brother in Obi-Wan, and he doesn't fall to the dark side. He's like, the entire Star Wars mythos hinged on that one battle at the end of Phantom Menace, and nobody really realized how critical that was until like a year ago, and then everybody, including myself, was like, "Oh shit!" Like it's true. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And Dean, to tag onto your Clone Wars comment, I really got to say, man, that really did fix a lot, in my opinion, regarding the prequels.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Clone Wars, it really does make me look at Vader differently.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
looking at this image right now, it's a younger Vader. It looks like Anakin. burnt to
Yeah.
shit. It looks like him, and that just makes me think back to Clone Wars, and I just think, damn, that's Anakin, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
Like, look what happened.
It makes
It
us
hits
all
you
more tragic.
harder. It hits you harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more tragic, and it just makes me more excited. Despite the fact they can mess it up, I'm gonna set my expectations accordingly. But
Yeah.
I'm still excited. About
Hey,
it, man.
hey, their track record right now is going pretty good. I
Listen,
would
Yeah.
give them that.
listen.
But
We have. I have faith in Deborah Chow, bro. I really do. I have
In this
faith in
cast.
her.
Yeah.
In the cast, I have faith that she can actually pull something off. She had one of the most, creatively incredible episodes from The Mandalorian, and they actually put this in her hands. This is basically her baby, and I think that, like I said, it goes back to just really proper storytelling. If you can give me a solid story and give me a reason to understand why you're changing a few things, even though, and I think that they kind of found a way, because even when Vader says this, we in our minds, we go back to the final battle with episode 3. So this is what we think, was that, or is that the last time that they actually came up, and again, remember, we're still seeing, even after episode 3, we're still seeing the earlier stages of Vader. We're still seeing his development as a character too. It's not like he put on the suit and he's Captain America or Iron Man like that. No, he put that suit on and he's still basically fumbling with, number one, the loss of Padme. Number two, the loss of someone who he considered was his brother, is like a father figure to him. The simple fact that he made a mistake, killing or being a culprit and, just slaughtering a whole bunch of younglings, betraying the Jedi Order. A lot of that mentally is still going around. And then on top of that, he's maimed, he's destroyed, he's just trying to find a way in that suit. And I hope that this show really shows that his struggle as Vader. You know what I mean? Like this, I remember somebody actually created a beautiful piece. It was fan art when Vader actually went back to Naboo to visit Padme's grave. That shit was phenomenal.
yeah.
If they would have pulled, I'm not saying that they would actually do it on this show, but if they did something like that, because you remember the Empire itself reigns pretty much everywhere. Vader has free reigns to go wherever he wants. So if he wants to go back to Naboo and visit her grave, he possibly could. That shit would be beautiful. But what I'm saying is, if they give a solid story, and I'm pretty much sure, like with the writers and everyone who's actually on board with this, they got a solid cast. If they can pull that off, like I said, I mean, and it's beautifully done, then it might change our perspective on some of the stuff that we actually see if the story is done right. So I get you, Dean. I understand that, but I'm just saying if it's done right.
I gotta rein you in real quick. The show's called Obi-Wan, not Vader.
I know.
Don't focus too much on Vader. And want a whole lot of Vader content.
No, I'm not saying
I know
that.
what you mean, but I gotta hey man, it's an Obi-Wan show.
No, I get it, and I understand it is Obi-Wan's show. But what I'm saying is, if Deborah Chow herself has said, and she did come out publicly and say, "Oh yes, we're going to see more fighting between Vader and Obi-Wan." I mean, she said this.
Oh,
so
did
she's
she?
made that.
Oh.
Yeah, she said.
She
this.
said that they're gonna fight.
They're going to
She said
fight.
they're gonna
We're going to
fight.
see them again. So that's what I'm saying. If you're telling us that, then you have to really explain it well. It has to be presented well. We have to see somewhat of a struggle because I understand that it is Obi-Wan's show. And I'm not saying that we're going to see a lot of Vader like that as a prominent character in the show because they got to focus on the main character. I'm not
How
saying
much
that.
do you think we're gonna see him? Like, you think it's gonna be one episode? You think it's gonna be like?
I think it's going to be more than one episode.
You think it's like Gideon, where it's like a scene here and there per episode?
I think
and
it's
then
gonna
maybe
be-
something bigger later.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one episode the same way that they did Ahsoka and Luke. It's just gonna be. I just think it's gonna be a little bit. The show's gonna be more focused on Obi-Wan the way that it's supposed to.
It'd be
But
focused on
we'll
Obi-Wan
still
and
get it,
Inquisitors. You know what I mean? I think it's because they said there's going to be a lot of
Oh,
Inquisitors in
man.
this show, and that's what I'm waiting on.
Live action Inquisitors. It's gonna be
Yes,
awesome,
bro. I
man.
want to see live action Inquisitors. So if they actually give us that, I'm going to love it. But I mean, again, we're going off of rumors. I mean, to basically see if they to see a more fleshed out. I'm just my hope, and I'm just like I said, this is built on hope. My hope is to possibly see a more fleshed out. And on top of that, bro, a lot of backlash that Hayden Christensen got, from episode 2, episode 3. This guy, bro, outside of those films, he has range. He
Again,
does.
because people hated those prequels, but now
Yeah.
they're starting to like them.
But now they starting to like him, and he was even basically at Celebration when he showed up. He was well received by the audience. They loved it, bro.
Oh yeah.
that was great to see.
Yeah, that was really great to see. So I just think it's an opportunity. I know it's going to be for. You know what? Honestly, you know what the happiest part of this show is for me? Seeing Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen back, bro. Like that is probably one of the happiest moments, because seeing both, you're not going to have one of like a top tier actor back in the fold right now and not do something with it. I want to see how they actually even on how they're raising Luke. If there's going to be a young Luke, because they said it will be a young version of Luke in the show. So, I want to see how that kind of fleshes out. The thing is, we have so much that we want to see, but I got to also remember they said, it's only 6 episodes? Is it 6 or 7 episodes?
Yeah. Did you guys read any of the comics, the newer ones? Because there was an arc. There was an arc when Luke finds Obi-Wan's, I guess one of his old diaries, and in there was a story of Owen Lars going to see Obi-Wan and just telling him, stay away from the kid.
Yeah.
We don't want you around him, and this and that. So I'm hoping that we kind of see some sort of conflict between the two, similar to that, because I would love to see the back and forth between
Mario,
between Owen and Obi-Wan.
That was in the novel. That was an Obi-Wan. Was it a novel or a comic? I think it was a comic.
It was in the comic. It was in the comic.
Yeah.
If it's a current comic run, then they consider those canon too.
No, this was before.
Oh, this is
No.
extended
There was a
universe?
current run. It was a Disney run comic.
Okay. I could have sworn Star Wars Theory covered it, and it was no longer. It was from the before times. Not much before, but it's like when they reorganized everything. I could be wrong.
No. This
Either
was
way,
after.
it's too good of a story thread to not, especially when you have caliber like the actors, the caliber that they have for this show, to not have them cross
for
paths.
sure.
And if you're just gonna have them literally never share the screen, then what's the point in even having Owen and the rest of them in the first place? So I think we'll see it.
Like Bad Batch with fucking crosshairs. They never see him until the last 2 fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll see
I didn't know Camille Nanjiani was in here. I mean,
He's making the rounds, dude.
Oh
do we
yeah.
know what he's playing?
Obi-Wan.
I mean, are they going to use him as a Tusken Raider? You think? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I hate to see it, but
That
mean,
seemed
I don't
racial.
know.
I gotta be honest. That was,
I don't want to say it, but
I
how
don't
dare
know.
you?
I don't know.
Remember, he got jacked for the Eternals. I could see him as like an Inquisitor or something like that.
I don't
I can see it
know.
too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Now clear this up for me. Is this going to be a mini series or is it going to be an actual series? Because if it's 6 episodes, that sounds like a mini series to me.
I think they said it was a mini.
It's going to be like a limited. What are those limited series that they call them?
I think they
miniseries.
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be like 6 to 9 episodes, like WandaVision
Yeah,
and those.
yeah.
But they said that there could be a second season. They're not saying it's just going to be this one and done. They said there could be.
Okay.
But they're not. They haven't at least confirmed that they're definitely going to do that yet.
Man, they are up against so much. If it's just going to be 6 or 9 episodes, they're going to piss off a lot of people. Just look at what we've been talking about for the past 20 minutes. You know what I mean? We're going to want to see Vader. We're going to want to see Inquisitors.
Yeah.
I mean,
At
I
the same
feel like
time,
if
they
the
done
episodes,
Mando well.
if the episodes are long enough, I don't think it's going to be a problem. If they're like an
Yeah.
hour and a half each, I think that's good.
I don't think they're going to be that long. As long as they're
Like
they
Game
need
of
to be
Thrones
long
level?
enough to tell the story they have to tell. That's bottom line. That could be 45-minute episodes. It could be 30. Depends on the length and the number of them. I'd rather them say this is how much time we need to tell this story and then do it in that time than like the old network model of we have to do 22 episodes, so we're gonna have X number of filler episodes and like I love the Clone Wars, but you could probably trim each season down to 6 to 10 episodes because there was a lot of filler in that show. So to me, if they say, look, we need 7 hours to tell this story, then that's better than them trying to cram it into a 2-hour movie. So whatever they think they need, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then they'll get called out for it.
I wonder what Doughboy's going to be in this show.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, bro. And I hope he's just not like a filler character, bro. Like just somebody they just fill in. Come on, man. Like
I think
give me
he's
something.
climbing right now. He's getting some more roles. So I think this may even be a bigger breakout. I mean, I guess you can say Straight Outta Compton was a breakout for him.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, it was.
He
yeah,
hasn't
but
done
I
anything
don't know.
since.
He did
Yeah, he
Godzilla.
has.
That was amazing.
He did it. He did a few. Yeah, he was in Godzilla. He was in the King of the Monsters. He was one of
Like to Dean's
the
point, he
lieutenants.
hasn't done anything since.
Yeah, I mean he's done like a few a few indies. He's done like a couple of different things. Like listen,
Yeah.
he's you know look it doesn't matter how many you do, it's just how well you perform. So I mean if
You're
he,
right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So if he pulls it off, I mean they listen, they wanted him for something. So I'm just hoping that they
Yep.
use
It
him
only
for-
takes one role to jumpstart.
hell yeah, one roll. Now the
And
guy,
he's got the chops. He's a good actor.
yeah,
He killed it
does.
as Ice Cube.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did kill that.
He really did.
And he said his father put him
I mean, you
through
better
the
not
ringers
fuck
for
up
that
that
damn role.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say they fucking better.
hell yeah. His
Spitting
pops-
image of his father too, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
hell yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, and I think I keep forgetting his name. Guy who plays Han,
Sun Kang or
Sun
something.
Kang.
like that, I think it
Yeah,
is.
he now the rumors is that he is an Inquisitor. Like he's playing, you know, he's playing an actual Inquisitor. And he didn't really deny it. He kind of danced around the whole thing, but that rumor was that he's going to be an Inquisitor. So I'm just saying, like, I mean, there's going to be a few of them in here, but I can't wait to see it. Like,
Yeah,
I
he and Vin
literally-
Diesel are going to be Inquisitors.
Oh God.
family.
Vin Diesel.
I was waiting for that.
Lael, I know we're talking about Obi-Wan and we had moved on from the games, but I'm going to send you a link. And if we have
Okay.
time, if you want to pull it up, I just saw, so the other day, IGN put up an article about the top 10 Star Wars video games of all time.
Mhm.
And there's one glaring omission. I don't know if anybody else is going to notice it or agree or disagree, but I just sent that to you in the chat. But there was one really good game that was left off that I was like, how the hell do you leave that off there? So if we have time tonight and you want to hit it up,
Yeah, we can
just
go
send
over
that
it.
to you.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit on that because that'd be interesting to talk about. Next up, though, is probably like a movie that or a show that I'm actually most interested in. Like, you know what I mean? Because he, you know, was an interesting character. You know, definitely an interesting character in Rogue One. So to kind of have him, you know, in his own show, you know, is definitely going to be interesting. The Cassian Andor show, which I think they said, didn't they say now Mario? Did they say this wrapped?
Yes,
They-
Cassian Andor is officially wrapped, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
it officially wrapped.
So
Yep.
it's in it's actually wrapped preliminary photography.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was. So
Principal
I think
photography. Yeah, they're in
principal photography.
post-production now.
They're in
They're in
post right
post-production
now.
right now. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm really, I mean, I didn't really, when they made the announcement that they were actually doing this show, I was like, okay, you know, is like what more would I want to know? But then like his character, from, you know, how tormented the character was, and he said that, you know, since, you know, he said that he was actually fighting
Since he was 6.
since he was
Yeah.
6 years old. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of story to tell how he was conditioned. And then we did see some, I mean, grimy shit, like shooting somebody in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we saw a lot of grimy shit with this character, and I didn't know how interested I was going to be in it, you know, in this show. But it is like, you know, from what, and the thing is, we don't really know too much right now about it. Now, I know when they saw, like, you know, when they showed some of the shots, you know, some of the actual set pieces and just behind the scenes, it looked amazing. Like, this is like the underworld type amazing setting. But yeah, like, what you think, Mario? What's your cue on this, man?
Dude, let me just say that I am personally excited to see that we're having Latino representation in Star Wars
Yeah.
now, dude. I love the
Yeah.
diversity, man. Love to see
Yeah,
it. So-
yeah.
Trying to get
Ooh.
some wow, couldn't handle it. No, just kidding.
No, I was trying to bring something else in. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just love the fact that we're seeing all the diversity with these films. Rogue One is my favorite Disney Star Wars film,
Yeah.
and just to see this character to potentially be more developed, to see what's really going on, what he's been through,
Yeah.
How he either, I think they mentioned how they're gonna go through how they met K2, how they
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
linked up with K2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and K2SO, that was another surprise character too, man. I mean, everybody loved him. So there is so much to be looking forward to with this also, to see the everything from the reign of the Empire, how it affected this young man, and how it drove him to join the cause of the rebellion. So
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to it. So let's
Yeah,
go.
man.
Let's go.
Brendan, what's your take on this, bro?
Well, I'll take it one step further than Mario. Rogue One isn't just my favorite Disney installment of Star Wars. Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars film. Period. I
Yeah.
absolutely
I don't
love
blame
it.
you, man.
Yeah.
It's an awesome
From a
movie, dude.
That's a very
cinematography,
respectable opinion.
yeah, I mean, from my profession, my background, the cinematography, the sound design, the sound editing, this is just top to bottom my favorite Star Wars film. I'm super psyched for this because I think Rogue One was the first Star Wars film that felt like a war film. You know what I mean? Like it felt
That was
like they were
that was the
actually at
idea.
war, right? Not just the space
Mhm.
opera kind of. It felt like an actual war movie. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this, like you said, Lael, he started off at the very beginning of Rogue One doing some
Yeah.
shit when he shot the dude
Yeah.
in the back because
Yeah,
he
hell
was like,
yeah.
all right, well, you're going to get me caught and I can't afford that. So you got to go. He has had, that was just one in a long line of horrible decisions that guy had to make. And it's the only one that we really saw.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of storytelling for what brought him into the war and what brought him to the point. Because I'm sure he started out, relatively innocent, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, not looking to do all the things that he had to or that he felt that he had to throughout the war. So I think this series is going to be like a part war, part like spy show
Yeah.
where it's showing him, maybe, like the Americans, like on FX, and, it's going to be where he's going to have to do a lot of messed up stuff, and we're going to see the fallout and what it does to him over the course of the show, leading up to who he is at the beginning of Rogue One, and then what kind of impact Jin has on him. So I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I know I love K2SO. I love Alan Tudyk doing the voice. It's phenomenal. Partly it sucks that he's not in this first season, but at the same time, that makes me happy or hopeful that there's going to be more, because they're not just rushing in and telling the story literally right before Rogue One. They're giving it some breathing room. So he still hasn't met like K2SO. He still hasn't he hasn't been reprogrammed from being an Imperial droid. So maybe we actually see that happen in season 2.
Yeah.
So I think they're giving it room to breathe, which makes me think that they're willing to do more storytelling with this and not just have it be a one and done season. So that's why, even though I want to see K2SO and Alan Tudyk in there, this has me hopeful that we're going to get some really good long-term storytelling rather than just 6 episodes and then it ends with, him meeting Jin or so at the beginning of Rogue One. So yeah, I'm super psyched for this one. I mean, It's hard for me to say if I'm psyched more for this or Obi-Wan or Boba or any of all my hype levels for all of them just keep blending in together because it's all just Star Wars, and this is like the best time to get so much Star Wars content that I don't know which one I'm more excited for. I'm just excited for it all.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, Jesse, man, what you think about this, bro?
Man, I'm pretty much just gonna echo what everybody else was saying, man. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see more K2, even though it's gonna be later. But yeah, when watching Rogue One, to me, it was the first time to where it felt like this shit's real. You know what I mean? It's dark.
Yeah.
Like the good guys aren't necessarily the good guys.
Exactly.
Like, they do bad shit, and like you see the dark side, of the rebels. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So seeing this, I have a feeling it's going to be dark too. You're going to see a lot of messed up stuff that was done to them. You're going to see a lot of messed up stuff of what they're going to do, what made Cassian be Cassian. I'm just looking forward to it. And what's kind of cool to think about is that you might not see a ton of lightsabers or
Yeah.
Star Destroyers. You might but I know it may not look like Star Wars, but it's gonna feel like Star Wars. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah. Hell yeah.
And it's a perfect opportunity to bring out so many more characters because if it's gonna be him growing up and being it's just gonna just bring out so many more characters and open up so many opportunities for more stories.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think he's a great character. Yeah.
To Jesse's point about bringing up potentially more characters, I'm also hopeful for that because typically we do see the Star Wars world in the Disney era tend to grow a lot smaller. You know what I mean? As far as we see the same characters over and over again in a sense.
Yeah.
So if anything, I would love to see the world expand a little bit more. Go ahead and do something a little bit ballsy and don't show us any familiar characters. I mean, other than who we expect to see that's within this realm, but just give us some new characters that are really outside of the OT, but still
absolutely. That was one of the
minimal.
That was one of the best things about Rogue One.
Yeah.
That we want with this series and stuff. That was one of the best. It was Rogue One. I mean, we got Krennic and we got to see some characters that we
did get some of the fan
before.
service. Dr.
Yeah,
Amazon,
but like
it was very minimal compared to
Chirrut
Force
and
Awakens.
Baze and I mean we got so many new characters. And it was like one of those things where I think the absolute right thing for them to do was for all those characters to die at the end of Rogue One. But they contemplated having some of them survive and maybe doing a sequel. And you're like torn because, oh man, I want more with those characters. But at the same time, they did the right thing for the story they were telling by just killing them all. But,
I love that they did that, man. I commend Disney for doing that.
Nobody thought Disney would do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, give us develop these characters in this movie to that the audience get someone attached to, and then just wipe them all out at the end.
Right.
And
It was
perfect.
just like the
ever killed their
Magnificent
entire
Seven.
cast?
It was like a rehash on like the Magnificent Seven. You know what I mean? The way it was actually done and portrayed. And you got to remember, like, here's the thing, like, in how beautiful this story was told is you got to remember, like, just like the Republic is somewhat of an occupation, the Empire is an occupation. People work for a living. You know what I mean? They are hired, like they are governed. Like this is basically so you can't say that.
Died on the Death Star,
bro. Like you can't say that. Like literally, like you cannot say that. You cannot say that. You can't say that. You know what I mean? Like the rebellion is a clean slate. I mean, because they've done some things. They have ledgers that are completely like gushing with blood because you have people that were working, like, and that's pretty much how beautiful, like, just to see how it began and how it ends with like the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? How you're seeing like the 501st at their worst. You know what I mean? Like literally, it's an occupation. So I think Rogue One created that platform. Like they created something like that, for us to see. Dean, what do you think about this, bro?
I don't think I'm as excited as everyone else.
Okay.
I think Cassian is like he was okay. I didn't hate him. I would have much rather had a Baze and Chirrut show. Because they're so like
I'd be with you on that.
They're just like kind of like more interesting. I kind of feel like I already know enough about Cassian. It's like, hey, I've done some fucked up shit and I've been fighting my whole life. It's like, okay, cool. Like I get it.
Guardians of the Wills, I can understand that.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Like that being said, more Star Wars is always good. So I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably fucking love it. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm not as hyped for this as I am, say, Obi-Wan or Boba Fett or.
Oh yeah.
More Star Wars is always good. Every fan says that until something comes out they hate, and then they're like, "God damn it!"
Star Wars fans,
you're not wrong.
Fans.
You're not wrong.
Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Yeah, that's the line.
It's true.
I'm guilty of that. I'm not gonna lie.
We all are at some point. Yeah,
but
it's because it's a passionate fandom.
And I've said it before. I said it a long time ago on our show. I give Disney a lot of shit because they fucked up a lot. Like, let's not get that twisted. But, back in the 90s, they weren't really coming out with the greatest cartoons, right? the Rescuers Down Under, some of those other cartoons at the time. You compare those to like The Lion King or later on Toy Story. These amazing movies. It's like, yeah, they're gonna have a lull. They're not always gonna come out with bangers. So I might not be happy with Disney today, but hey, in 10 years I might be like, man, I thank God for Disney saving Star Wars. You know. Yeah. So I kind of try and keep that in my mind when I think about Star Wars. So it's like, hey, more Star Wars is good. Yeah. I might not like it, but hey, it could lead to something better. So, not to knock on this show, I just feel like Cassian's like not. Even from Rogue One, you could have picked almost any of the other members of that whole team and had a more interesting show.
But you're gonna watch it, and you could be pleasantly surprised. And so you're open to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be like, "Oh, screw it, I'm not watching that." That was
for
why
sure.
the hell are you making that?
No, I like Cassian enough that it's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's see how it goes. I'm just not, counting the days on my calendar until it comes out,
But who knows? Maybe after season 1, you will be starting to count down the calendars till season 2.
And then I'll be in fucking Hot Sauce Post. Where's Cassian?
I mean, oh, there he goes.
Damn it, Dean.
When you think about it, though, if you look at people gain new appreciations for different characters as the fandom progresses, as new stories come out. When you think about it, we didn't really see Boba Fett do anything badass until Mando, when he started swinging that staff and beating the crap and cracking some stormtrooper heads. We'd never seen him kick some serious ass before, so everybody loved the look. But it wasn't until Mando that he actually did something to earn the cred that we all gave him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a new mouse. I keep fucking.
Welcome back, Dean.
That's all right, bro. We love you anyway. But okay. So now this one is probably going to be mixed. I mean, I don't know if I'll
we
probably
haven't been already.
Yeah, true. But this would probably be a little bit more. I mean, I'll probably be the most excited person on the panel for this because of my love for this IP. But Visions, bro. I can't wait for it, man. Yeah. I cannot wait for Visions, bro.
I'm probably more excited about this than Cassian.
Really?
Man.
Yeah. This just seems really interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Animatrix. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Different stories, different anime studios telling
Yes.
different stories.
Yeah.
Apparently these are not canon. From what I heard, we talked about on our show. If I'm wrong, let me know. I hope I'm wrong.
You might be right, because I remember, isn't each episode a different interpretation from a different creator? They're not.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of isolated type things. So you might be right about that.
Yeah. But from the trailer, dude, oh my God, every second of that trailer is just eye candy. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that. That fucking a lightsaber umbrella. Like, oh my God, I cannot wait to see this shit, dude.
Yeah. So Linda said nope, not canon.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, dude. I'm with you, Leo. This looks so good.
I mean, just my love for anime in general, and then for them to greenlight something like this, it's like, you're fusing two of the most amazing IPs together to create something like this. I really, really, really can't wait for this, man. I can't. I really can't. What do you think about this, Jesse?
Man, I'm not much of an anime fan, but I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know what to expect, but the trailer is just enough to get me hyped up.
Yeah.
I really don't have much input besides that. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks real crazy. Mario, what's up, man? What you think, bro?
Dude, so I gotta say that I'm not the biggest fan of anime. I mean, in general, I don't really follow anything much. But the only anime that I really have any sort of attachment to is Macross, and that's why me and Dean get along so well. Because
I'm
we
literally on a Macross page right now.
Nice.
He's not even listening to us.
I was doing some research.
Yeah, there he goes. But dude, you know what? I love this interpretation of Star Wars in an anime style. is absolutely intriguing. I mean, this image right here,
Dude, I'm shocked we've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
right. It's so creative. It's so different. I can appreciate the some of the lore, some of the I'm at a loss for words right now, but the culture of how they're bringing the culture into Star Wars, and it's
So like samurai culture.
I'm looking, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which heavily influenced the Jedi. It's kind of what they're based on.
Yeah, right. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not the most excited about it, but I am intrigued and I am looking forward to it. I mean, I did some of the stuff that was shown in the trailer. It was like, yo, I can't really wait to check this out. You know, I'll be looking forward to it. But I mean, at the same time, just because I'm not the biggest anime fan, I'd be okay. You know, really not copping it. You know, so much. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope it's great and I hope it changes my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, again, growing up on anime and so many different shows that I grew up even from like the early 80s, you know what I mean? Battle of the Planets, you know what I mean? Like just everything that I've known, you know, just throughout. I mean, to see Star Wars even give it a chance, it's just, you know, they are, you know, like I said, we talked about it, you know, earlier, like, you know, with Cassian, like the, you know, with the diversity. Hint, Disney, you need to give Finn a chance. But anyway, like, you know, just diversity in its own, and like seeing like they're now, you know, opening up a totally different world, you know, giving you know, the you know, this a chance to kind of, you know, be fleshed out within the universe itself. Anime, I mean, I'm excited. Like you know, probably again, I'm probably more excited about this than I am Cassian Andor, but I'm excited about Cassian. But like this right here, yeah, like I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Brenda, what you think, bro?
Like Mario, like Jesse, anime is not my thing. Never has been. So I do like the idea of the cultural interpretations and infusing, like, you know, samurai culture and other things into Star Wars and kind of fleshing those out more. I think that concept is really cool. Anime art style, it's just never been for me. That being said, I will watch this because I'm curious to see what they do with it in terms of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
If in my mind it sucks, won't affect me in the least because anime is not my thing, so I'm not going into it with high expectations. On the flip side, if I go in and I'm just like, all right, let's see if, you know, if this is any good, and it blows me away, great. Like, so it's all upside. If it sucks, it's not going to bother me in the least, and if it's great, then I get more great Star Wars. So
that's true, because anime can be kind of weird.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm definitely not anywhere near as hyped for this as Cassian or Andor, as it's called, or Obi-Wan. Like, nowhere near. But like I said, if it's great, awesome. If it sucks, it's not going to bother me.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So next, I mean, this is, I don't know, like just, I don't know if I can take rumor or, you know, just so much talk about this, and
I didn't do it.
You know, where they're going and what to expect. But I wanted to bring this up because, you know, this has been talks. Like they're saying that, you know, season 3 could be the final season of The Mandalorian. And, you know, especially with the lead actor himself, you know, there's other things that he's doing right now that he did say that Last of Us is priority for him. You know what I mean? He did label that as priority. So, you know, now here's the thing, like he could do both because basically he's wearing a helmet the entire time. But like I said, I mean, they're saying that, you know, one of the reasons why it was pushed out as far as it was, I mean, it's a much bigger story to be told. We don't know if it's the Siege on Mandalore, if they're going to actually go back and if we'll see something like that. If that could be like his last entry, or if they could even kill off, you know, Din Djarin in season 3. Don't know, but it's just the rumor so far. Mario, what you think, man?
You know what? I can see this happening, but this is like unexpected. I mean, The Mandalorian has brought in so many new Star Wars fans, people that weren't even paying attention to Star Wars. They brought them into the family, right? I mean, there's so many more people that are now into the Star Wars lore because of this damn show, because of this freaking this baby Grogu here that we're all. I'm sure a lot of us are sick and tired of seeing right now. It is a bit hard to hear that that Pedro is making Last of Us a priority right now.
Yeah.
I really don't want to see this series end. There is so much more on the table that they can continue. Although there are the spin-offs, you know, that are coming up. But even still, this is such a well drawn out character, and just to see it end right after Grogu goes off with Luke is just that. I think that would be a tragedy. That would be a huge loss, and a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to see, you know, Disney make that mistake. But however, if the writing for season 3 kind of devolves a bit and it's evident, then cool, I'm all for it. You know, if that's the case, go ahead and end it. You know, because I mean, I can't help but think that there's if this is true, then there's got to be something going on behind the scenes for Pedro Pascal to make Last of Us a priority over the Mandalorian, which is a huge freaking moneymaker right now. Getting the Emmy nominations too. They got I think they got a bunch that were nominated for this year. So, but I hope it isn't true. Again, this is just a rumor right now. We'll see what happens when it happens, and I'm just hoping for the best. Just hoping for more Mando.
Okay, yeah, true. Brendan, what you think, bro?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
If they take as much time as they need to tell the story that they need to tell. That's it. Because there have been plenty of shows that like had 3 great seasons, and then seasons 4 and season 5, it was like, man, I wish they ended it on a high note.
Yeah.
At the end of season 3, and Mando's story can't go on forever, right? I don't want to see a fucking geriatric Mando with a fucking lightsaber walker or something like walk. You know, I don't want to see him with tennis balls on a walker and he's old as fuck. Like, let him tell his story, however long it needs to take. To me, it makes sense that his story would come to an end, you know, whether it's through his death or whatever other resolution on Mandalore. And it seems like that's where they're going. They're going back to Mandalore with Bo-Katan, you know, the Darksaber. Tell that story. If we get a 4th season and it's good, awesome. Totally happy. But if they feel like they need to end it after 3 seasons, then I'm okay with that. Because you think about it, that's going to be about 15 hours of content. All right? That's like the equivalent of like 3 trilogies. Like that, that's a lot of time with that character when you think about it. I know 3 seasons seems short, but in the grand scheme of things, when you add it all up, I mean, that's a hell of a lot more screen time than we ever saw with Boba Fett in any of the movies, right? And we have so much more Star Wars content coming where maybe the show ends, but then maybe Pedro Pascal and, you know, as Din Djarin makes appearances in the Book of Boba Fett or in, you know, the Ahsoka show, whatever. So I'm never one of those people who's like, no, I want more seasons. It's like, if you feel like you got to wrap the story right now, then totally do it. If there are external factors that weigh into that, like him prioritizing The Last of Us, which I'm a massive fan of The Last of Us. I'm super psyched for that show on HBO Max. So, you know, it's like, you know, lesser of two evils, or it's like, you know, the one hand that kind of sucks, and the other hand to getting something great on the other side. So we'll see. You know, ultimately it's got to come to an end at some point, and we've got so much other Star Wars content that, you know, I'll take what I can get, because honestly, I mean, 5 years ago, I never would have thought that this show was going to exist in the first place. So I got something out of it, so I'm good.
Definitely. Dean, what you think, bro?
It's not super surprising. I mean, we've heard nothing but rumors about Pedro Pascal being super difficult this whole fucking time, whether or not they were true or whatever. You know, him being escorted off set, him making a big deal about removing his helmet more often, him butting heads with.
None of which was confirmed, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's all rumors. So, like, who knows if all that is true and it's been leading up to this point where he's like, you know what, fuck y'all. I'm just going to do The Last of Us. It's more important because I'm not getting my way. I don't know. That could be the case. Could might not be. All that shit might have been fake, too. This could also not be a real rumor. But it is circulating. I mean, it's disappointing, but Brendan makes a good point. 15 hours is a long time. It's very rare that a show will go as long as like even like Game of Thrones, 8 seasons. Usually it's around 6. 3 seems a little short. 4 would be nice, but I mean, yeah, that's a long time to spend with the character, and really nothing good could stay. So
he's also getting paid way more by HBO.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's making so much more money on The Last of Us than Mando. Like, nah, it's big.
Yeah, he almost seems like one of those characters. You could just recast him really easily. Just never take the helmet off. Just have that continue to be a thing. And you could probably alter someone's voice to make him sound like it enough that it probably wouldn't be that jarring.
Or they could pay him a shit ton to just do voiceover, like once the show's done, and then they, on a different schedule or like when he can. But like, I mean, he doesn't really like. Now I feel like he probably will take the mask off, the helmet off more in season 3 because of how season 2 went. But they could go back to him not really taking it off that much, and he could just do voiceover work. Like,
yeah. I mean, half the time on the show, it's not him anyway. So like, I don't see it being that big a deal. I mean, I don't really know production schedules and shit, so I can't really say for sure. It bums me out a little bit, but it's not the end of the world.
Like Mando, they shoot over like several months. The Last of Us, the first season, they're literally taking an entire year to film it. Which is more than like most movies. Like it's a massive production.
The Last of Us is a good story, but it's like, Pedro, you kind of know what happens to your character, right?
Yeah.
Was it confirmed that he's playing?
Yeah, he's playing Joel.
He's playing Joel?
Yeah, he's Joel.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I'd rather, honestly, if it were...
He's safe until they cast an Abby in a future season. As long as there's no Abby, he's safe.
Hold on. Brandon, I still haven't played the second one yet, bro, so...
Oh, you haven't? Yeah. Oh, all right. You guys
I still haven't. I haven't had it with you for the longest time, but still, I know what happens, but I still have yet to play it, bro.
Yeah, you got to jump on that.
I mean, if it were me, and I mean, I don't know, maybe money really is that important, but I would much rather be a member of like the Star Wars legacy. Maybe because I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I know, but it's like I'd rather stay that way than play Joel. You know what I mean? Like, The Last of Us it's okay, but it's not like a culture juggernaut like Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's getting, for The Last of Us, he's getting fuck you money.
I think though Pedro, he's going after that Emmy or Golden Globe. Like he's trying to
absolutely. You're right.
He's pretty much going after that type of material, and the story, if it's told right, it has potential.
There's more acting from to sink his teeth into.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, he's not wearing a helmet, so he doesn't want to. If that was one of the biggest things or one of his biggest gripes about doing Mando, then he has an opportunity to do something totally different. Even though he knew what he was getting into when he was taking the role of Mando. Jesse, what do you think, man? What's your take on this, bro?
I got mixed feelings about this, man. I mean, I love the show. I love Din, great character. Yeah. I can't help but to feel like the story was closed. Yeah. I mean, Grogu was such a big part of Mandalorian, and now it seems like he's gone. Luke's going to take him away, right? So if they do just one more season and focus on something completely different, this is just me talking, but it may kind of feel imbalanced. You know, like I did all this, and now I'm just going to do this thing for one season. And Pedro's been involved in TV shows that have had a horrible final season before. I hope this doesn't have the same fate
Well,
as that
to
other show.
his credit, he didn't make it to the end of that TV show in
Yeah,
general.
he got
so-
it. He got his grape popped a while before
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I see people in the comments. I see people have mixed feelings too. Some people are saying if the story's told, don't overstay your welcome. I somewhat agree with that, and others are saying that the show's a Mandalorian, not the Din show. But
Exactly.
to me, Din's the Mandalorian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll feel kind of weird if they say season 3 is going to be about Bo-Katan. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm open to the idea. It's cool, but that's going to be weird. It just seems
But
like
it's
a season 3.
Still related to the main title character. She is the Mandalorian as well.
You know what I could see them doing if they wanted to keep going with the storytelling, they could just either call it season 4 or they could just call it season 1, but they could just call it the Mandalorians, like plural, and then it can be about like the resurgence of Mandalore and stuff like that. So there are a lot of options that they can, and I'm sure Disney is thinking about every single one of them moving forward. So whatever, I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but there are a lot of options moving forward, one way or another.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect with it, but I mean, Favreau and Filoni, they seem to know what they're doing, so you got to trust them.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think again, if they open a can of worms, not even a can of worms, but they open up the possibilities, and actually not even a possibility, but what we're actually going to see in season 3, with Mandalore. She did say, after this is done, you might want to reconsider. You know what I mean? And he was like, I agree. Like, if once this mission is complete, like, I owe you this. On top of that, he has the Darksaber. He has to get rid of it somehow. So, like I said, I mean, you can't. That's what kind of left that open, is because he has the Darksaber, and we have to see how she gets it back, how they take back Mandalore. If anything, I don't even know if Boba's going to be a part of that. If he might make a cameo in that after this particular season, which he possibly will. But
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
I don't think he cares.
Yeah,
I don't think Boba
exactly.
cares about Mandalore.
Yeah, he doesn't, but at the same time, like, he does believe in a certain level of loyalty to people that he owes a debt to or might have whatever.
That's
so
true. Yeah.
when we think about that, you know what I mean, there's a possibility that even though he doesn't care about Mandalore, he may help them, take it back and then leave. You know what I mean? Because he's part of his own thing. He just lives a separate life, him by himself. So I think if they're going to close it out, it will close out in season 3. It is opportunity for them to do so. And then, like I said, I think, I think, and to be completely honest, the buildup has been the focus on Boba Fett all along, because they know people wanted Boba.
Yeah.
They've been, crying for a Boba Fett movie. They didn't get that. So now they have a series. So now they want to focus on that.
Do you think he's going to be an anti-hero in his own series? Like, do you think he's going to be running a crime syndicate, or like, do you think he's actually going to be a straight up like good guy in that show?
I hope he's going to be running a crime syndicate, man. I really hope so.
I don't.
So it's
well,
more like
actually,
his crime syndicate against another syndicate.
Yeah. So the rumor is that we will see a reemergence, or not a reemergence, but we will also even explore the Crimson Dawn. You know what I mean? So we will actually,
Really?
The rumor is that we will actually see that, because again, all
Kira.
these years we don't know what the hell happened with Kira. You know what I
Bring
mean?
back Kira. That would be
and
good.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind if they actually did something like that, for us to see that, that side of it. As long as I actually get to see, more Mando, Fennec Shand, if especially Fennec, give me more Fennec, then I'm happy. But I just think that, Mando, they will kind of, they'll probably rest that on season 3, possibly. I mean, the thing is, it's like it was going so good, and then after season 2, with all the controversy with Cara Dune and all that and everything that was exposed, is just like, okay, before it even crashes and burns even more. We gave you Luke at the end of the show, so that was like a beautiful ending. You got Bo-Katan, you got a chance to see Ahsoka, so those shows are pretty much in the works.
If they end it with season 3 and we still don't get a Grief Karga from Hot Toys, though, I'm gonna be pissed.
You and me both. You and me both. But you already know how that's going to go. And who knows? We could actually, like you said before, we could actually see a show that's called Mandalore.
Or a show that's called Mayfeld.
Yeah,
Bill
I mean,
Burr comes back in season 10.
hey,
He's
I wouldn't
gonna team
mind
up with
that.
Bosk and Dengar.
Yep.
I
And
wouldn't
go
mind
off
it.
to the
I love
syndicate.
Mayfeld, bro. Like if we could see him again, if he shows up in Boba, that'd be dope. You know what I mean? Who
It
knows?
wasn't a
But,
stormtrooper, jackass.
yeah. What is this? He said, "Give me 3 Phoenix hands, please." You already know that. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I said, we'll definitely see. How that kind of rounds out. Who knows where it can actually go? Who knows where Lucasfilm's actually going to take it? But look, the more Star Wars, the better. I'm happy either way.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So finally, the last that we're going to touch on before we hit the game, is pretty much this. Like, how did our overall feelings on this past season of the Bad Batch? I had really mixed feelings about this show.
I didn't even finish it.
I did,
Yeah.
just for the sake. I did.
I'm going to,
did.
but it just didn't hook me. So it's like I'm okay with I'll go back and see it eventually. People talk about I don't care. It's not a big deal. There were elements that I liked, but it didn't hook me the way I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
The whole concept of it was really freaking cool. When you see them in the last season of Clone Wars, holy shit, there's a bad batch of clones. This could be an amazing show. But when we started watching it, I don't know. I just had a hard time getting attached to any of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a reason to really care for them. And the story to me just wasn't that great. I felt like it dragged. And at the end, I kid you not, I mean, the finale, I saw it twice, and both times I found myself more just browsing the internet, going on Reddit instead of paying attention
During
to
the
show.
finale?
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
I feel like they made leaps that they didn't earn. Like it right away in that second episode when they basically just kind of all of a sudden assume this father-daughter relationship between Hunter and Omega that I feel like they hadn't earned yet.
Yeah.
So it was you needed that should have been the third or fourth or fifth episode after they had developed their relationship when it was when he was going to leave her on that planet and she wanted to stay with him and there are just things that they did throughout that I feel like they didn't earn through the storytelling. That was my biggest
5
problem.
episodes too long too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
It all sounds like we want to like it, but we feel disappointed
toys
that
look
we
great.
don't.
It was also just the Mandalorian rehashed. Instead of Lone Wolf and Cub, it was Four Wolves and Cub. Oh no, we can't let them get kidnapped. They're after them. They want the cub. It was like this is the same fucking show.
Yeah.
I'm with Jesse.
Yeah.
I didn't care enough about any of these guys. Maybe Tech, just because he was kind of nerdy and is he's funny. Wrecker was just obnoxiously dumb. It's he could be big and not be a bumbling moron.
They should have flipped the script and made him the genius one. Make the massive bulky guy the
Can you
genius
imagine?
one.
That would have been hilarious. Yeah, and then a complaint I had earlier, and I mentioned it in the show, there was just not enough crosshair in the show. You made it this huge thing in the beginning of the show that he turns on them.
Yeah.
And then it's he sees them once in episode 4, and then it isn't until the last 2 episodes that they come face to face. It's what the hell was all
He had the biggest hook.
Yeah, and I mean, beautiful. I mean, that was so well done. I will say that the whole crosshair thing was amazing. I don't want to ruin it for Brenda, so I won't say anything. But
yeah,
it's just
The
there was too much filler. Exactly. Every episode, I was like, can we accomplish something more than fucking around? I mean, even the Mando had a lot of filler, right?
Dave Filoni is notorious for that. He's got some brilliant storytelling, but he also throws in a whole lot of extra that you just don't need.
Yeah. I liked it. I don't want to say I didn't, because I did. I enjoyed watching it. But it was almost like, oh, fuck. Yesterday was the episode. I missed it. I'll go back and watch it. Whereas, Mando, it's dude, I got to be at home in this
You're staying up late the night before to watch
exactly.
it.
Exactly. We're going to fucking cook out. We're going to watch the show. This is like, oh fuck, that did come out a couple days ago, right? I'll go back. And watch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna make like my whole schedule revolve around this show, but I'll watch it.
I went 3 weeks and I was like, oh shit, that's been dropping each week, and I've just forgot to watch it.
And Brendan, I'm 100% with you. I stopped watching it after like episode 3, and then I caught up later because I was like, dude, this is just like filler after filler. And then they did bring back a certain bounty hunter that was like everybody was all excited about.
I know Cad Bane comes back.
Okay, yeah. Cad Bane came back, and that everybody was shitting their pants over that. I was like, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to like it so much more, but I'm kind of glad I don't, because then I'd want to buy all the fucking hot toys.
I still want to buy the hot toys though.
So I'm good.
They look awesome.
I'm good with the Black Series, you know. But I mean, that's what 3, 6, 9, 12. You know, $1,500 for a set of them. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like them that much. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed. Okay, look, we all were drawn to the fact that the era that this took place with the transition from the Republic to the Empire, right? To see the Empire come to power, to see what's going to happen, you know, how the clones are phased out and how the stormtroopers are phased in. I agree with everybody in here talking about how it's filler. And you know what else also had a lot of filler was Clone Wars.
Exactly.
Rebels.
First season was
Rebels. It was all filler, guys.
First season wasn't well. It wasn't the first season of Clone Wars was not well received at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but over the build up over time, it got better.
Exactly.
And you started seeing things.
And
the thing is, and what I was gonna say real quick. Sorry, Mario, but the thing is that we did see was even through the fillers, there were a lot of things that kind of like, okay, now it gives me perspective on how the clone processing ended. You know what I mean? It gives me, you know, they kind of tied that up with the boat, like just trying to give us a perspective on how that whole thing. And so even though it was, that's why I said for me, it was a mix of, it hit a dry spell. I got tired of them going on these stupid missions back and forth. You know, no Omega is old. Well, you know what? I don't even want to say anything until Brendan watches it, so he'll find out on his own. But it was just like the way it was, you know, and I agree. Like certain characters didn't get the shine that I thought that Crosshair should have got way more shine than what he got, because he was such an interesting character.
I wanted to see a young Krennic.
Yeah, it's.
I think we might get there.
We might, and that's the thing is, like, there is a second season. They already said there's going to be, you know, more seasons, so it might ramp up. But I just think as a start, I think they need to stop following that formula where it's just drop. Like, you want to hit it with a bang in the very beginning, like we did with Mandalorian, and you know, even like with Rebels, it had a slow pace, but it picked up. Like it really with Rebels, it really picked up, and you started watching, you were more engaged. Whereas this, it was just like
he needs Jon Favreau behind him to rein him in. I think that's what he needs. I think that's why, like, one of the reasons why Mando is so good.
Yeah,
I think Filoni is great, but I think he needs Jon Favreau to kind of temper some of the tendencies that he has when it comes to that filler stuff or the stuff that's just not hitting the right way.
You know, I think by the time this series is finally over, we'll all be looking back at, you know, season 1 and be like, oh yeah, it wasn't the best, but it did develop, it did ramp up, you know, and I'm sure
that's what
at least half
before.
of us, at least half of us here on the panel will be excited as far as how the series ended. We'll be content with how the series ended overall. I enjoy the characters. Tech was my favorite aesthetically. I love that look, you know, and him being like a geeky tech nerd. I mean, Jesse and I kind of fall into that realm a little bit too, messing around with.
Are
some
you
of
getting
that
the hot
stuff.
toys?
Oh, dude, for sure, I'm getting all of them.
Yeah,
you know, so
definitely.
Absolutely, come on.
And they showed that's the thing is they kind of pissed me off because they showed Crosshair, but we haven't gotten a release for it yet.
We haven't.
So.
Well, you know what? We'll get it. They showed all kinds of other stuff that was released later. Jango Fett, they showed him like a couple of years ago, and then we finally got the pre-order a little bit later.
Dude, he was at like 4 different cons, like over the course of like 2-3 years before they finally put him up for pre-order. So yeah, I mean, it can happen.
Yeah, it'll happen eventually. I think
there
were the rumors that were out there that were Yeah, that's another one too, bro. I think there were rumors out there talking about they're going to go ahead and finish the entire team. So we'll see. I really liked Echo in here because he seemed the most level-headed one.
Yeah.
Throughout the batch in the entire series.
Yeah.
I really liked seeing how his character developed even more.
Yeah.
Being the level-headed dude in here.
The kind of real man. And because the thing is, if you think about it, like out of the clones, I mean, they were the best, but he had out of all of them the most experience in the field.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
you would want him, even though he doesn't. I think it's like, look, I don't want to step up. I don't want that leadership title. I mean, because you guys gave me the opportunity, but y'all got to kind of slow that shit down and just focus in on So, and but I think that whole Hunter Omega it was just it got to be overwhelming. But with that being said, that finale, I loved it. Me myself, I loved the finale. You know what I mean? I love the way it was done, but. Because there was a lot of tension in that episode. Even the episode before that, it was pretty well done.
The penultimate in that one too. I mean, at the very end, that got me, dude. I was like,
yeah.
Look at you going with a triple word score for Scrabble, penultimate. I like it.
Yeah, like to see them all working together. Like even though Crosshair didn't agree, to see that how that played out, it was decent. So. I don't know. The thing is, when they drop season 2, as much as I was on the fence about this one, I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you already watched, the first season, you got to finish it to see where it goes. It's for me.
Yeah,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
So
yeah, it's like Clone Wars. I mean, not every episode is a banger.
Yeah, true, definitely. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Dean?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't think I hated any episode in particular. Because there's episodes of the Mando like I just won't watch. I'm like, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Like the ice spiders.
The ice spiders, the one with the Jawas, I cannot stand that episode. But this one, I can't think of an episode at the top of my head that I don't think I would rewatch. Like if season 2 is coming out and I was like, oh, maybe I should rewatch it.
Yeah.
I think I could rewatch the whole series.
Yeah.
Whereas Mando, I would skip around.
Yeah. True.
So it has that going for it. But
Now I know I was going to say that was pretty much the last, but I did forget about something because this was really, really interesting. And I like the Galaxy. I mean the Gallery series. I like watching the Gallery series and to see how they did this with Luke.
I didn't realize that was actually him. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it looks
right.
like the Emperor right there. It
does
looks like
look
Palpatine.
the Emperor.
Right. It's like to see how like that came together. Exactly. Like to see how it came together and to see how how they use deep fake and they tried to use deep fake, but then they went with something else. But it's like they still have deep fake tucked in their pocket. You know what I mean? Like now, if we refine it more, it's an opportunity to do it. But
they hired the guy, the VFX guy that did his own version on YouTube using deep fake that turned out better than what they had on the show. Lucasfilm hired that guy.
Was it me?
Talented.
Was it me
some other
or
guy.
just okay? So I mean,
Well played.
watching their renders, that the way they're putting everything together in the gallery, I looked way better in the BTS than what we actually got at the time when it came out.
It did.
So I'm wondering if it just what happened. What happened, or are they just?
I'd have to
or
go
is
back
this
and
just
watch
like
the episode again to kind of really look at it.
go look at it, man. Because
the first time I watched the show, you were in the moment and you were so hyped that it was Luke that I didn't really pay too much attention to how good the face really was. The CG for that really was. It wasn't until after that I went back and looked at it. I was like, all right, I can see some people don't love it, but it didn't bother me that much because I'm like, at least it was Luke. That was cool. But I definitely think they would have to do a much better job if they plan to do more with Luke in the future. I don't know. We'll see. They went through a lot more than they actually had to in an effort to try and do something really cool with Mark Hamill and for the fans, because they could have just recast or they could have just just did some basic like CG with somebody's face, or just went with the de-aging. But they like went through a whole it's a really good episode of like behind the scenes. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
I love
Disney
watching
could have
that
very
stuff.
easily phoned it in, like they
Yeah.
did with the whole sequel trilogy. But you could tell that the people that were involved,
Just like
particularly,
laying little mines everywhere, trying to get people to step on them.
yeah, particularly in this scene, really gave a shit about what they were doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think like it goes back to what Liao was saying. They recognized that they did Luke dirty, and they're like, this scene has to redeem this character
Yeah.
tenfold.
Yeah.
And I think it did. I mean, I know people were in tears.
Yeah.
Dude, I was doing fucking backflips off the couch, which is dangerous at my size.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
The funny thing is, though, when you look at the scene with Luke and him going through the Death Troopers or the Dark Troopers, and then you look at Vader in Rogue One, and then you look at Boba Fett on the second season of The Mandalorian. 3 iconic characters that when you go back and watch the OG trilogies, their action and their stunts were pretty piss poor, and their best, most badass moments are actually in the Disney era content.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Right. You're right.
not wrong.
100% right, man. Like seriously, like
So at least we got that.
Exactly. We got, and that's one of the bonuses of it being a Disney Plus IP now, or actually on Disney Plus, and having it's the opportunity to flesh out the characters that and even Mark Hamill was like, he was talking about how, at the end of Jedi, he was like talking to George Lucas, it was like, yo, that's it. Like, this is it for this character. Like, and he was like, even, he always wanted to know where this character was going to go next, or we hadn't actually seen him in his prime and what he can actually do. We knew that he was still learning, but to see him on this particular level, it was like, okay, now we have an opportunity to see Luke, do what Luke does, and we can see why they say he's one of the most powerful Jedi. You know what I mean? So it was interesting, and I love that they gave us this, like, especially just dedicated to just Luke in general. So, yeah, it was amazing, man. Like, I mean, I don't. That's the thing is, like, I love after the seasons they actually give us the gallery so we can actually get the behind the scenes look and everything, and the progression and what's next. And then on top of that, it's like, yo, with every Star Wars show we see, we know there's a hot toy coming, possibly. Possibly. But yeah, man, like this was
Years of torment.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Or like, we'll give you 1 or 2, but we're not going to complete that line.
yeah,
That's what I'm so scared about with the Bad Batch. They're so bad about finishing an ensemble cast.
yeah.
I mean,
The
it's a
crazy
miracle
thing
they
is,
did the fucking Justice League final.
we always complain, and like I have in the past too, that they don't finish the line. Like, we don't get the Baze Malbus and do it like a Cassian and stuff like that from Rogue One. But when you think about it, with the exception right now of 2, one being Cara Dune, which we know the whole story with that, and the other one just inexcusable right now because he's still in good standing with them, is Carl Weathers' Grief Karga.
Yeah, isn't he
Other than
directing
those
the
2,
next
we've
season?
literally gotten every character you could possibly get from Mando. Like, that's one where they've gone way further than they've ever done in fulfilling a line that they start. So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, at least there's that.
Yeah, we even got a fucking what's his name?
Grief
Queel?
Karga.
It's like, how have we gotten Queel and not Grief Karga?
yeah.
We
true.
should have got both
Exactly.
of them in the first season. I mean, we ended up getting Queel at the end of. Oh, that was mine. We got that was a delay. We got Queel like in the second season after he already bit it in the first one, but like we still didn't get Cara Dune or Grief Karga, and it's like, honestly, at this point, I think we'll get a Mayfeld before we get a Grief Karga.
This is my daughter. She said, I love these Star Wars product
Hey.
talk. That's my baby girl. Like I told you, Russ, she is a Star Wars fan.
What's going on, Skylar?
So yeah, that's my baby, man.
It does keep the saga alive. That's why I'm telling you. I'm with Liao. I think Disney does want to appease the OG fans, even though they keep saying Star Wars isn't for us.
Hey man, I love you guys, and until my dying breath, I will defend your right to be wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own wrong opinion.
Jesse, did you get a chance to watch the gallery?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, bro, you
Okay.
gotta watch it, man.
Yeah, I'll
If
check
you're a
it out.
Star Wars fan, you'll geek out. It's so much fun to watch those. The first season ones were great, and the second season too. Like they're just a lot of fun. They add a lot of context.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
man, thanks,
Yeah, I'll watch
Mac
it this week.
Geekdom. She does. She has a very cool dad, and she knows it, man. Thank you for that, bro.
Yeah, he's okay. He's all right.
Yeah, from what I hear.
But yeah, okay. We've actually covered that. I think y'all wanted to jump into like the 10.
Yeah, just look at the list and tell me if there's anything that jumps out at you guys as missing from this. I'm assuming you guys have played a fair
man.
amount of Star Wars video games. To me, there was just one really glaring one of my all-time favorites that didn't even make the top 10, let alone like be close to the top.
So we had, and now mind you, everyone, this is the 10 best Star Wars video games ratings. This is who is rating this? IGN.
According to IGN.
According to
I don't know
IGN.
if it was the internal or if it was like a fan vote thing.
Yeah.
Either way, there's still one that just it's ridiculous to me that's not on there.
So they're saying Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi for what was that?
Which was
The
good. That was
NES?
fun.
Yeah. We had Star Wars Dark Forces 1995. Remember that game as well. We had Star Wars Battlefront 2005. That's Battlefront 2.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That game's
Yeah, it was
so
a good game. Yep.
We had Star Wars Republic Commandos. I did love Republic Commandos.
I
I'm not gonna
love
front.
that one.
Yeah.
Republic
I love
Commando was
Republic
fire.
Commando.
Definitely should be
It's
on there.
crazy. Definitely. We have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. They got that all. This number 6.
That
That's what I'm
was surprising
saying.
me. It was only number 6.
Number 6, really? And
Yeah.
then hold on, you have Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. I mean, that's cool. It was dope.
Above
but
Fallen Order.
But
yeah,
it
above
shouldn't
Star.
be above.
Yeah, Star
None of
Wars
these really
Jedi.
should be.
Nah, and then hold on. Yeah, the Lego Star
The Leg-
Wars Complete Saga. Come
Why
on,
is
man.
this on here?
Yeah.
Star Wars
I don't
is
know, dude.
dope.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
What the
but dude,
hell?
keep
there's
going.
Star
hope
Wars
somebody got
TIE
fired for
Fighter,
that blooper.
and then number 1 is
Okay.
Knights of the Old Republic. So, what the hell?
Anybody notice
I
one
love
missing?
dude,
Jedi
where's the
not
force?
Jedi.
Where's the Force Unleashed?
That's motherfucking
Where
right.
the
Yeah.
hell is the
Yeah.
Force
The
Unleashed?
goddamn Force Unleashed.
That
Force
game
Unleashed.
was
Battlefront
amazing.
2 with Iden Versio.
'Cause
So-
to me, it should be 1 and 2, whichever one you want to swap. I might even go Force Unleashed first, but it should be Fallen Order and Force Unleashed. Those should be the top 2 to me.
Yeah.
Doc
And
Smizzle
then-
also Shadows
And
of the
KOTOR,
Empire
sorry,
on the
KOTOR, no,
N64.
KOTOR is number 1. KOTOR is number 1.
Yo, even
All right.
but he had the pod racing. But listen, I had more fun with the pod racing than that Lego game. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
But
Oh no, I love Star Wars Lego. That was so fun.
I
mean,
It's
I could
cute,
play
it's
it, but so
charming, but
much,
come
man.
on.
But guys,
Wow.
The Force Unleashed was an amazing game. The story
Yeah.
in that,
Yeah, the story
with
was
Vader's
great.
apprentice, it showed the formation of the rebellion. When Leia came to they had the table and Bail Organa and the rebellion started right there. Man, that game I absolutely loved that game. It was amazing. The sequel was okay. It wasn't as good. But Force Unleashed, the first one, has to be on that list.
And it introduced new physics in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
with force choking everybody and throwing them off everywhere. The whole
Yep.
force powers are absolutely amazing. in this
When
freaking
he's
game.
like force pulling the Star Destroyer down on that
Yeah,
planet.
dude, how crazy
Also,
was that?
That was Sam Witwer, who went on to
Yep.
be Darth Maul
Yeah.
in Clone Wars
In
and
Clone
Rebels.
Wars Rebels.
To me, it's just an absolute travesty that game is not on the list.
He was also in one
Yeah.
episode of Dexter.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
He was also
Dude's
on,
been in a
Fucking
lot.
Star Wars.
Supergirl. He was on that too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it was crazy.
I'm just saying, The
Um,
Force Unleashed is one of my favorite pieces
Yeah.
of Star Wars content, like all around in general. I thought it was brilliant. And to me,
IGN
it's
is
just
hating right now.
The fact that it's
IGN.
not canon is a fucking travesty.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I absolutely loved that movie.
That was one of
I mean,
those
that
games
show.
where
Game.
I went back and completed everything, unlocked all the different suits,
Yep.
played it so many damn times.
Did like
It
the
was so
different
replayable.
endings because you could have different,
Yeah. Right, the
That
replay
game-
value was great.
It was
and it
amazing.
had
was
elements of
acceptable on that
KOTOR
damn
because you could start making decisions in that game too that would like impact like how far to the dark side you went, what choices you did when if you fought Vader or Palpatine, there was a lot in that game that was really, really compelling from a storytelling perspective, and the gameplay was fun as shit.
We got a
And-
beautiful Shakti statue out of it too.
Yeah, we did.
It's a grail piece right now. So,
Yeah, we did.
So yeah,
Yes,
man.
we did.
I also would have included Star Wars Bounty Hunter in this.
Right.
Yeah,
That was a good one too. He
Right.
plays
Absolutely.
Jango Fett.
Right.
Like, he didn't even have his jetpack
literally
yet.
any game except the Lego one could like get on.
Nah, I gotta include the Lego one, man. That game was.
You know
fun.
what? You can include the Lego one, but you can't have it that far up.
No, not that far up.
No.
Although
I feel like
new
the
Lego one is
SNES
coming
game
out.
should have been higher than the Lego ones. I really loved playing the SNES ones, especially Empire. Those were awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
Jesse and I played the hell out of Super
I still remember
Empire
the
back
codes
in
for the
day.
ABYX, ABYX, AB, ABYXXY, ABYX.
Yeah, right.
There's something
Yeah.
you never forget, like
But then
the,
you got,
like
like,
the
30
blood
lives or
code
something
for
like
Mortal
that.
Kombat. You just it sticks with you, and you just always remember that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, there are a lot of great Star Wars games. I hope that we get a lot more. Like, I mean, Fallen Order, sequel, and KOTOR. I hope that there's just a lot more Star Wars games that we can get, whether they're RPGs, whether they're more linear, combat, like air combat or space combat based. Like, there's a lot of potential to do more like that. I hope they do more and diversify it as much as they're doing with like TV shows and film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
But yeah, man, yeah, like that was everything, and we covered a lot of ish tonight for the
Dude.
first show, but that was so dope. Everybody in the chat, man, tell me how you felt about the first show. Do you think it was great? How would you rate it? Because like I said, I mean, a lot of y'all in here, it's 58 people still in here. It was at 60 something. It was happy to see, man. Like, seriously, how do you rate tonight's show?
What do you want the rating system to be? Do you want it to be lightsabers? Do you want it to be porgs? Do you want it to be, what do you want?
Kyber crystals.
Kyber crystals, man. Exactly.
There you go. See that? There you go.
Yeah, kyber crystals, man. Like, definitely. Yeah, I enjoyed the show, man. Like, you know what? I'm gonna play it twice. I can't help it. I'm gonna play it twice.
Go ahead.
Hey, my daughter didn't hear it. Skylar, if you out here, you gotta hear this intro because it's incredible. The man Jesse, right down here next to Brendan, he just nailed it. We're not out yet, but I just need y'all to listen to this one more time.
So uncivilized.
Bro,
So nice. That's so
you
nice.
are a fucking genius, bro.
Thanks, man.
Jedi master producer, my
Oh
baby
my
brother.
god, bro! Like, oh my god, like everything just fit nicely where it was supposed to fit, bro.
I gotta say,
God
probably
damn.
my favorite part was the lightsaber at the beginning
Oh,
of the crash. I
my
thought that
God.
like set it
Yeah.
off perfectly.
Oh my god, bro! Like to be the first show, like this show killed it. I'm just gonna call it like this. We killed it. One other thing, really quick though, before we get out. Okay, do want to talk about this because we haven't reached the goal yet. We haven't reached 1,000. Subscribers yet. We're still working on that, so we're not going to have the giveaway until we actually do it. Now, this giveaway, definitely, it was a piece that we actually mentioned before. This is a piece that's, pretty much right now sponsored by Collector Zone. Marcos over at Collector Zone. Again, we are having a giveaway once we reach 1,000 members, 1,000 subscribers. And we will actually give this lovely piece away. I actually have it here right next to me. Remember, once we reach 1,000, this will be given away again to me. This is the child. This is actually Diamond Select am in the co-pilot chair. So once we reach 1,000, one lucky member will actually receive this. Remember, all you have to do is just continue to be a member or even recommend others to actually subscribe to the channel. Once they actually have subscribed and they recommend you, you have a better chance to actually win this. Again, this is courtesy of Collector Zone. Marcos over at Collector Zone. If you haven't already, become a member of the Collector Zone Cantina. Excellent stuff over there. He has some beautiful pieces. I'm actually getting that Storm piece from him and a couple more I'm not going to really talk about because that's just between me and Marcos. But anyway, this piece right here.
You'll hear about it because he'll blame me for it.
You're damn right. But anyway, this right here is a half scale piece. It's a beautiful piece. And if none of y'all get it, once we reach 1,000, I will keep this some bitch to myself. So anyway, you want to actually win this piece because like I said, it's incredible, man. Again, shout out to Marcos. Over at Collector Zone, always bringing us the best. But come on, man. Anything else going on? Hey, guys, what y'all got going on this week? Mean Dean. That's just name now. Ain't even Dean the Dream. It's Mean Dean. What you got going on next, bro?
Collecting Weekly, dude. We're live pretty much every day of the week now. Monday we're doing an unboxing of who are we doing, Mario? The Godfather?
No, we already did The Godfather. I don't know if John's announced it yet. I can't. Oh, Tony Montana.
Tony Montana, thank you.
Scarface.
Yeah,
Pacino.
Scarface. Yeah.
Then Tuesday's our main show. Wednesday, After Dark. Thursday, be Small Talk. And then, are you going live Friday, Mario?
I'm going live next Friday, Ins and Outs of Collecting, y'all. So that's our statue show. You guys come check us out. We're every other Friday night, opposite side of Uncivilized Scoundrels.
Yeah.
So 8 p.m. Pacific time. Come check us out. It's a hell of a good show, man. It's good times. Good times.
Nice.
Yes. Mario, you already just gave a whole, dissertation just now, bro. I have to even ask you what's going on next?
Collecting Weekly, y'all.
Me and Mario go hand in hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. Collecting Weekly. If you haven't already subscribed to Collecting Weekly, do that. I mean, seriously. Come on, man. It's one of the best. One of the best
Fun
shows.
to watch.
It's so fun to watch, and you can just be yourself. You can be open. Yep. It's like a host of different characters, but it just like the puzzle just fits. I mean, it's like somebody yesterday said it was like the what was it the late night what was his name again
the
late night
Howard Stern's like the late night Howard Stern.
Yeah, you did say that.
You know what's funny? I haven't told you this, Mario. I haven't told anybody this, but I got this little game that I play with this show. A lot of times, whenever I dip in, like in the middle of the show to check it out, you guys are always talking about something so weird and off the wall. A lot of times, it's just some weird sexual stuff. So I'm like, I just know when I jump in, I know I'm gonna get something weird, right? Yeah. And a lot of times, it's Dean saying something weird and sexual.
Love it.
Dean is
there's never enough bidet talk on After Dark, y'all.
Yeah.
Man, once you go bidet, you'll never go back, man.
Yeah, man, trust me. Follow everybody over there Collecting Weekly, man. Straight up. It's just like a crazy.
That was a snippet, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Straight
Jesse,
up,
we're getting you on After Dark next, man, to talk about your bidet experience, bro. So
Hey,
anyway.
Weird fucking sentence right there.
That's the beautiful part about the show.
Exactly.
Then you can be yourself.
It's half weird shit and half everybody pissing John off about reissues.
It's the after party. It's the after party, like you said last night, Leo. It's the after party, bro.
Yo.
Yep.
Yo, I swear to God, man. Brendan, what you got going on, bro? What do we have going on next? Do you know? Because I don't know.
Just living the dream, waking up in the morning, pissing excellence. Other than that, yeah. I mean, well, we got what day is today? Today's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Comic talk on Monday.
Yes. Comic talk with friends. So Comics Talk with Friends is on Mondays. Tune in for that. Again,
anybody wants to join, let us know.
Exactly. Join on in.
We'll just we go over whether it's film or just like we'll talk about like comics and stuff, the source material for our collecting habits. And we usually, like, Vinny and I and Leo will come in with like recommendations. So we'll recommend like certain runs for people to go read, or certain like comic book artists to check out for prints, or just kind of whatever, just kind of, diving into like the history and cool characters and just cool arcs and shit like that, how they're adapted to movies and TV shows. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So we got that. And then, yeah, basically, I don't know. There's like a stream like every night. Either we're on this channel or we're on somebody else's channel.
Yeah.
It's just
We are.
it's all the time.
It is.
Hey, real quick, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, I was something else I wanted to plug. Dean, Lael, Jesse, y'all know that I'm a big Disney Parks nut. So we got another trip this weekend with Eddie, with my co-host Eddie and In-N-Outs, Eddie Mendez, along with Sean Yutzi. He's also hangs out with Collecting Weekly from Six Scale Scavengers. We're all meeting up. We're going to go ahead and document the day. And one of those segments that we're going to go ahead and upload is our Galaxy's Edge stuff. So we're going to document our time in Galaxy's Edge. We'll be getting on Rise of Resistance, show y'all that. Lightsaber builds for, first times, that whole experience. So it's going to be a good time. Check it out. Look for it on the channel later.
That's awesome. That actually reminds me, Leo kind of messaged me earlier today too about it, but obviously COVID kind of poo-pooed my plan, so it might take like a year, maybe even more. But at some point, as we can all kind of get back to like, meetups, like cons and meeting in person, I am going to be working on filming a documentary on collecting.
Yes, you have to
so I'm going to be talking to a lot of different collectors, hopefully being able to actually like go to that, wherever they are, meet up in different states, and, and film their collections, talk to them. Going to be doing that with some artists, working on setting something up with the Kucharik brothers, which make some of my all-time favorite statues for different companies. So, that's going to be an ongoing process over, probably it's with, travel restrictions and what's probably going to take a year or two, but it'll happen eventually.
Definitely, man. Like I told you, bro, I've been pushing for you to do that because, like I said, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, somebody's trying to do something like that, but I mean, just to, just from a collecting perspective.
Man, that sounds amazing, dude. I mean, I can't wait to check that out, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, Mario, when's our next show, bro? Well, you call it. When's our next show?
You know what? We wanted to try to make a commitment for every 2 weeks, man. So if that being the case, we're looking at the 23rd of August.
23rd of August.
Let's go.
That would be our next show. 23rd of August.
You mean September?
Oh, excuse me.
27th. That's like next year. Yeah, no. Of
I had
September.
A fucking aneurysm. I was like, wait, what month are we in?
September.
Of September, yeah. We will be back and with more great content. Definitely, we will have more great content on the show. I can't wait. Like for our first show, shouts out, round of applause for everybody on the show. We did such a great job, man. Everybody out there in the hemisphere, in the galaxy far, far away, wherever you're basically from. Hey, Jesse, man, what do you have going on next, bro?
I don't do any shows, but I got some homework to do. I got some beats to make.
Some beats to make.
Yeah, so basically, just gonna try to expand that so you can rap on it. And
this was your gateway drug. This was your first stream, but it's not gonna be your last now.
Anybody who out there, listen. Anybody who's out there, you have a show in mind, and you want one, and you need some music. You know who to hit up. Get that, Jesse.
No pressure, right?
And
no pressure.
And you can pay.
And you can pay him.
He didn't work for free.
That ass. You can pay him some ducats. But if you've seen what he did for this show, so you know what he can do for yours. True indeed. Watch people like, yo, Jesse, I got this idea for Yo, definitely. But no, it was a dope show tonight. I do want to address the panel. 6 Scale Reviews. Shout out to y'all. Had a good, it was good.
Everybody
meeting you guys.
subbed to 6 Scale Reviews.
Exactly. Sub to 6 Scale Reviews. No guys are just killing it. Dave C, Quavo 383, OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars, Absolute Irwin. Who do we have here? Carbonite Kid, single songwriter. Tobor, Max Geekdom. Let's see here. 6 Scale Mafia in the building. Who else we have? DK. Latoya, baby, thank you for always supporting me and supporting the show. She said, good show, guys. Always. Let's see here. What's that? Scurf the Jerk. I like that name. Skylar, thank you, baby, for coming through. Always love you. Let's see here. What do you say? Single songwriter said, Rising 923. Yeah, we only got a couple more to go to get that goal, man. Seriously. It's not much, but look, it's important to us, man, most definitely, so we can keep the vibes going on this show. Bob Dylan in the building. Philip the Fool. Let's see who else we got here. Badfish.
You picked up two. It's at 9:25 now.
There you go. Badfish.
All right.
5447 link. Who was that? Who else we got? Lynch Designer in the building. Metaphoric Customs. Jeff Long. If I'm getting your name wrong, please correct me. Because
I love it when people have long screen names with like symbols and numbers in it, and Lael like tries to read them all
I
out.
know, right? Boogie Manny, my man, bro. Thank you for the actual intro material. Thank you for the graphics. You came through in the clutch, man. I was just talking to Mario about it, so he must have plugged your ear and be like, yo, give us some graphics. But you killed it, man. Definitely killed it, man. And like, yeah, Andreas, Laura, I know she's around here. Let's see who else we got. I just want to shout out just a few people, man. Chess Verdon, again. And it's Thursday night, man. Going into Friday. I can't wait. It's time to go, man. Like, anyway,
Shout
yes.
out to Scurf the Jerk up in here.
Yep.
Scurf the Jerk.
What up,
That's
Scurf?
Definitely, man. So glad to see you guys. Anyway, man, amazing show. We will definitely see y'all back here. What is it, on the 23rd? He
August
said?
23rd,
23rd.
2024.
September 20.
September.
August.
Fucking with my head.
Definitely. When we see y'all back here, and for everybody who is watching, as always, may the force be with you always. This is Uncivilized Scoundrels. For the rest of the crew, we love y'all, and we're going to take y'all out on some beautiful and lovely mood music. Let's go. Cool time.
So uncivilized.